Coquitlam Sports Center, the site of Game 4 in this Western Lacrosse Association final. The Burnaby Lakers trail the New Westminster Salmonbellies by a score of 2-1. We're just announcing the players here in Coquitlam, and if you're just joining us, why is it in Coquitlam, you ask? Well, it's because Burnaby's home arena has been voted by the league as too small, and a vote taken of the 5 clubs. 4 teams voted to have all the playoff games away from the Burnaby complex, so that's where we are today. Game 2 is at the Pacific Coliseum, and here, Burnaby's second home game of this series at the Coquitlam Sports Center. I'm joined with Steve Erickson and, of course, Dave Evans in the broadcast with me up here in the booth to call a play-by-play of tonight's game. We're just about ready. We have the national anthem, and there's your Burnaby club in their road, or their home whites. I shouldn't say road, I'm going to get confused on that one tonight, but they are in their whites with the black and green trim. Why the New Westminster Salmonbellies in their road reds with the blue and white trim. Guys, we're just about set, and I'll leave this one for the organist for today's national anthem. They turn the lights back on here for us in Coquitlam, and there's your Burnaby club all set to get going. And Steve, we got a couple of hot goaltenders as well tonight.
We've got a couple of tremendous goaltenders playing tonight. You can see Mann for the New West Salmonbellies. He came in at the start of the second period the other night in Queen's Park on Monday evening and played just exceptional. You talk about a player, Terry, that motivates the team. He motivates the team both on when he's playing as well as when he's on the bench playing spare. And he's not scared to come out and challenge the shooter. Just exceptional. His counterpart down the other end, Alec, you can't say anything bad. I really believe, and I've spoken to a lot of different people, this player could be the person that determines the outcome in this final series, because he is just a tremendous goalie.
Dave, our referee, Mr. Pat Differ, and along with Ray Durante tonight.
Yeah, 2 veteran officials tonight, and I think we'll see the veteran officials for the balance of this season, or this series, pardon me. Pat Differ ready to face the ball between Moffat and Mike Kettles. Then, over to you.
And Mike Kettles, of course, the New Westminster face-off man, and he'll take most of the draws, and so will Moffat. And this one goes to Mike Kettles for the opening draw here in Coquitlam. Game 4 is underway. The Salmonbellies with a series lead of 2-1. Here's Paul Del Monte. Over to Peter Park. Park being checked and bothered by Stewart. Still has the ball. Now over to Lorenz. Lorenz, a shot right on, and Elliott the save in the new shot clock, and a turnover for the crease violation. And back comes Burnaby. Burnaby's first rush of the day.
We saw New Westminster there trying to set Peter Park up. He really hasn't been a factor in this series for a guy who's been probably the best goal scorer in the country over the last 4 or 5 years. We'll look to see the Bellies try and get Peter Park some good scoring opportunities tonight.
Moffat moves the ball over to Hurd with 14 on the shot clock. He takes a bounce shot that goes off a New West leg. Is picked up in behind the net by Stewart. Jamie Stewart tries a shot off the boards. Now Stroop tries to pick up the loose ball. And now New Westminster start things out. So 2 possessions, 1 for each team. And the defense holds through. There's a loose ball picked up there by Dixon. Dixon, nice pass to Randy Jones. Jones without his brother Paul in the lineup tonight. Now Ogilvie. Andy Ogilvie tries to work loose and does have a chance to move in and shoots right on that great save by Elliott. And the rebound's in behind the net. Dallas Elliott will control that one.
That's 2 big saves early for Dallas Elliott. That's the kind of thing a goaltender likes, to get into the game early. A couple of big saves, that could set the tone for the rest of the night for Elliott.
John Wilson with the ball now in the right corner. Don McNeil doing the checking on Wilson. Wilson looks for someone to pass to with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Moves it off for Keith Cowison. He lost control of the ball. Here comes Dixon. Brad Dixon, checked by Cowison, but Dixon gets around the right side. He's got a chance for a shot. Right on, and a good save, and Dixon pays for it as Wilson gives him a check behind. Both those players exchanged blows with the lacrosse stick, and they still run into each other, running back up the floor.
This is certainly Dixon's chance to get back at anything that Wilson did to him down the other end. We'll keep an eye on those two for the rest of the night, I think.
Now Burnaby controls the shot, score! A wing goal by Steve Goodwin.
And that's one that I think Rick Mann would certainly like to have another crack at. Goodwin certainly by no stretch of the imagination noted as a big goal scorer, but caught Mann a little bit off guard there. The outside shot bounced it. It looked like it may have gone right between Mann's legs. We'll get a look at it on the replay here. As they get it rolling, here we go. And Goodwin just basically has a look and decides to flog it. Caught Mann. It doesn't look like he was screened on that, and that's the kind of goals that Burnaby's been getting. Goals from guys like Goodwin, like Brian Jariga, people like that really haven't been big goal scorers over the season.
You know, you were watching Terry just before that goal. Wilson going back down the floor. I was talking to Wilson just prior to the game. He took one whale of a slash Monday night in New West, and he was actually icing his arm, his right arm, because it's still pretty much sore from Monday evening's slash that he took.
Well, he didn't feel a thing there. Wilson picks up the assist on the goal by Goodwin. There's a goalpost shot taken by number 21, Joel Broughton. And Broughton, not seeing too much floor time in this series so far, is going to get a crack on the lineup tonight with some missing players on Burnaby's side. Now here's Colin Sinclair to Hilches. Hilches has Cowison open. He goes to him. Inside for Kettles, and Kettles loses control. Picked up there by Oliver Marty. Marty goes behind the net. Nice pass to Hilches. Shoot right on. And Elliott makes the save. 17 minutes and 5 seconds left in this first period. 1-0 for Burnaby. Game 4 of the Western Lacrosse Association final. 2-1 Salmonbellies lead. And a shot and a turnover. So it'll be New West ball.
Yeah, a moving pick was set as Hurd came around the pick. And we mentioned Elliott getting those two or three big saves now early in the game. Just as that may be a positive factor for him, Rick Mann giving up a questionable goal early. We noticed he pretty much didn't move on that next shot by Broughton that hit the post. Hopefully for New Westminster's sake, that won't be an indicator of things to come for Rick Mann.
Now New Westminster's Paul Del Monte. Along the right side, gets open against Scott Aonen, and Aonen's going to go to the penalty box. And now Del Monte gives Aonen a slash. Aonen in the lineup tonight wearing number 34. That's Rob Sumner's jersey, but Sumner's out with a knee injury. He's gone for the season. So Aonen gets his first shift, and he gets his first trip to the penalty box.
A little bit of an obvious penalty too, Dave.
Yeah, those are the kind the referees like. They start making calls, or making the calls like that easy for the referees. One thing, when you see a player, as you see Scotty Aonen in the penalty box there, when a player comes up from junior, one of the big differences between junior and senior is the defensive aspect of the game. And quite often you'll see a junior player come up and end up getting holding penalties, slashing penalties, that type of thing, because they just aren't prepared for the defense responsibilities of senior lacrosse.
Well, a face-off lost by New Westminster, but New West got the ball on a chance for Burnaby to control there. So the Salmonbellies send out the power play unit. Randy Jones, Oliver Marty, Ben Hilches. There's Oliver Marty getting a chance right in on goal, and that's saved by Elliott. Now a steal. Here's Marty, who's going to slow things down. Hilches now. Hilches on his left, Lorenz, on his right, Randy Jones. Bad pass. Lorenz can't get it. Now a weak shot taken. Fanned on by Park, and Burnaby controls.
It's interesting, we see Oliver Marty playing the left-handed crease on that power play. That's got to be an indication that Colin Sinclair is not physically fit to play.
15:40 to go in this first period. 1:05 left in the penalty to Scott Aonen. Now Hilches winds up, passes there, Marty scores! There's a great shot by Oliver Marty, and Marty on the left side that time showed what exactly Colin Sinclair usually does.
That was a nice passing play, Dave, because what he did was he passed it and caught the goaltender moving a little bit too slow.
Yeah, he caught Elliott moving across, and that's a real quick release from Marty. There you see the shot there on your screen. that stick was in, or that shot was in and out of the stick
Westminster
almost
first goal
instantaneously.
scored by
That's really
number
tough for a goaltender to
88,
move. He's in the middle of the
Oliver
crease,
Marty.
watching the point man to get right to that post that quickly. Great play by Jones and Helges, and a great shot by Marty.
Funny part about that shot, Dave, was the simple fact that when he shot it and released it, that's the same thing the Salmonbellies were doing when they were shooting against the Adanacs.
Yeah, that's, as you say, it's a type of thing that Elliott, he likes to get fairly high out in the crease to shut down the long shots. And once a goaltender does that, he really does leave himself open for those diagonal passes to the crease and those quick releases, such as that goal we saw there.
So a 1-1 tie here in Coquitlam now. Game 4 of the Western Lacrosse Association final, New West and Burnaby. That last goal, Marty on the power play from Helges and Randy Jones at 4:28. Goodwin opened the scoring for Burnaby at 2:10 in this 1-1 tie. Now Todd Lorenz for New West. Pass Peter Park in the left corner, goes to Paul Del Monte. Del Monte goes inside for Miroski out for his first shift. Here's a chance there for Taylor for his first shift as well. But Burnaby controls. Here's Russ Hurd. Hurd goes for the change and gives it to Wilson. Wilson being checked and bothered by Park. Wilson's going to get worked over all night long. Any chance he can. He gets some stick work there to make himself free. He gets the shot away. And now we have a turnover for New West to control now.
And Steve, if Johnny Wilson's arm was bothering, it sure wasn't bothering him there. A great individual effort by John Wilson.
No, it doesn't show, but they're sure working him over on it.
Here now's McNeil. It's a chance to shoot and right on that goaltender. Dallas Eliak, another chance there. Randy Jones, a great save by Eliak, and Eliak standing up tall made that one look easy. Now there's Ogilvie, right in on goal. Pass it off, scores!
Great goal by Randy Jones, and what got that going was the great effort by Andy Ogilvie. He beat the kind of a wrap check by the Burnaby player, dished the ball off to Jones. There you see the pass over to Jones. Beautiful shot by Jones. Gave Elliott a bit of a fake, got him moving a little bit to his left, put it in that top corner. Big goal by Randy Jones. The first lead of the series for the game, pardon me, for New West.
Sheer perseverance by Ogilvie to keep the play in and keep on the aggressive.
Time to goal, 5 minutes, 57 seconds.
Well, they only gave one assist to McNeil, but Ogilvie should get an assist on that as well.
Yeah, I think we'll see a change made on that. There's no question that Ogilvie deserves an assist on that play.
So Randy Jones from McNeil officially at 5:57 has the Salmonbellies out in front by 1 goal. It's 2-1. Here now is that's Goodwin, Steve Goodwin. Looked like Dan Struve. Goodwin trying to get loose, is checked by Pulaski. But on the turnover, Burnaby will get a new shot clock. Goodwin. Lost it. Now controlled by Rick Mang. Sean Quinlan started game 1. He started game 2 before he was shell-shocked with 3 quick ones at the Coliseum. And it's been Rick Mang ever since for the Salmonbellies. Mang has got the start tonight. Now Eric Callison to Helges. Helges' pass goes astray, picked up by Colin Sinclair. Sinclair in the right corner to Kettles. Helges a shot saved by Elliott. 12:55 to go in this first period, a 2-1 Salmonbelly lead.
And as much as we've talked about the great play of Dallas Elliott, I think sometimes the New Westminster goaltending duo of Mang and Quinlan maybe doesn't get the respect they deserve. One of the advantages of having 2 goaltenders like that, if one of them doesn't play well, then obviously what New Westminster has done here, they've made the change and gone with Rick Mang. Burnaby with young David Lee as a backup, not quite in the same situation as in depth-wise in goal as New Westminster is.
There's a shot by Stroop, and Stroop has taken a pounding out there by Oliver Marty. Marty and Stroop are going to have it. Lots of words at this altercation. And to think that Oliver Marty, as a rookie, isn't pumped up for this Western Lacrosse Association playoff game is saying the least.
Now, that's the kind of treatment that Stroop took the second game in the Coliseum. Of course, he was probably the best player on the floor for Burnaby the first game, and unfortunately, he paid the price for that fine performance in the second and third games.
Kettles just picked up a minor penalty for high sticking.
2 minutes, high sticking.
And again, an obvious penalty right in front of the referee.
I missed that one, so Kettles is in the penalty box for high sticking.
He snuck over below us, Terry.
7 minutes and 34 seconds. As the ball gets away from Dixon, had a good chance to move in on goal. The But New West will slow things down and control that ball while they're shorthanded. Dixon takes a nice pass, gives it to Helches. Helches looks like he's got a bit more jump than he had in game 1 that we've seen. He's ready to play in this 2-1 lead. Salmonbellies have it. They also have a 2-1 lead in series. In the series. With 11:50 to go in this first period and a 1-minute and 24-second count on the clock for that penalty. Now Russ Hurd. Sorry, Dave.
It's our first chance to look at Burnaby's power play. And the key man on this has got to be Russ Hurd. We've got to see him start putting the ball in the net. And that, I'm afraid, isn't going to do it.
A bounce shot is easily stopped by Mann. Now a loose ball goes inside Burnaby territory. And Elliott will slow things down. Over to Keith Cowison. Up to Russ Hurd with 55 seconds remaining in the penalty. Cowison to Hurd. Left side to Stroop. Again to the quarterback, Hurd. To Cowison, right in, scores! Good goal by Cowison.
You were talking to Hurd. He was the one that set it all up. He went in, he slowed the team down. He drew the Salmonbellies out of the center high slot area. Give Cowison a good wide open shot.
Yeah, good play, and that's something you wouldn't recognize really is, hopefully we'll get a look at it on the replay as we see, there's Cowison, a great individual effort going. But just before that, as you mentioned, Russ Hurd drew the heat, pulled the 2 top men out wide, and gave that little bit of an extra opening for Cowison. Great individual effort by Keith Cowison, though.
Dan Stroop. Time to goal, 8:49.
Stroop picks up a well-deserved assist, and he has sure been a spark plug for the team for the whole series so far.
Dan Stroop. Power play goal.
So it's Cowison, the power play from Hurd and Stroop at 8:59. Guys, we have 4 goals in 8 minutes and 59 seconds. There's a chance by Peterson as he's hammered.
The way this series has been going so far, we were expecting maybe 4 goals over the first 59 minutes, never mind the first 8 or 9 minutes.
There's another angle, that last goal.
Yeah, there you saw a real good look at Russ Hurd, number 9, drawing the New Westminster defense out nice and wide, opening the floor up for Cowison's good individual effort.
So a 2-2 tie now with 10 minutes and 50 seconds to go in this first period. Burnaby ball, Russ Hurd in the left corner with 14 seconds on the shot clock. Hurd gets loose in front. Shot right on Mang, the save. New shot clock as Stroop is in on the crease violation, so it'll be New West ball. Goodwin for Burnaby opened the scoring. Marty on the power play. Jones made it 2-1 for New West. And then Cowison on the power play. So both teams are 1 for 1 on that power play. Now a ball is knocked out of play, so it'll be New West in control. Miloski's attempted try at that pass. Goes for naught, and now Burnaby starts out.
I was going to say they may have to change balls because apparently nobody wants to hold on to this one. That's about 3 consecutive turnovers in about a 10-second span. Hopefully things will settle down a little bit now.
Darren London out there for the first shift in his game so far. And there's a shot that might have given Mang a little bit of trouble, but he holds on to it. And back come the Salmonbellies. And here comes a penalty against Burnaby. It's going to go against number 6, Al Cusat. Behind the play, one of those penalties you don't want to take is the Salmonbellies were coming out on the attack. Here's Park, shot, and a rocket goes off the bar and behind the net. And Park got slashed after that one, and I think he's feeling that.
Now, we should say this one thing so people at home understand the rule. It's a little bit different from ice hockey. A lot of times when they take the shot, in ice hockey, the goaltender has to get possession of the ball. With this league, Dave, and with the lacrosse, it has to be a shot directed at the goal, and then they blow the whistle.
Yeah, as soon as a shot actually hits the goal or hits the goal post, then that'll end the play. And that we didn't get a look at that penalty on the screen, but that was, if there's such a thing as the definitive dumb penalty, I think that was it. As Terry mentioned, behind the play, a retaliation type of a penalty, and the cross check by Cusat.
Kettles wins the draw and does the job for the Salmonbellies, so out comes the power play. 9:35 to go in this first period. 1:49 left in this penalty in a 2-2 tie. The New West Salmonbellies. And there's a turnover that went for naught as Moffat had a chance. So New West controls. Game 4 of the Western Lacrosse Association final. Lorenz to Helches. Helches shoots right on Elliott the save. And Helches gets it back for a shot. Right off the blocker. I thought I hit the goal post. Elliott made that save. And New Westminster gets a new shot clock out of the deal as they retain possession. Elchies with Lorenz on his left. Goes inside, off of Randy Jones. Marty back to Helchies, a nice back pass to Lorenz, a shot right on. Elliott holds on to that one. It'll be Burnaby ball with 1 minute left in the penalty.
And as has happened so far in this series, Burnaby being outshot badly by New Westminster tonight. Elliott doing a great job in the nets for the Lakers.
50 seconds left in the penalty as Burnaby controls. Russ Hurd on a turnover as Johnny Wilson was interfering with Kettles in front of the New West bench. And for lacrosse, non-lacrosse fans who don't understand that rule, a player cannot interfere with another player who does not have the ball.
That's correct. If a player is going after the ball or is away from the play, you can make contact with him and push him and guide him out of position, but you can't actually interfere with his progress going after the ball.
Here's Moffat on a 2-on-1 with Wilson. Back to Moffat. Moffat had a good chance there, but he couldn't pick up the pass off of the stick of Wilson. Perhaps he thought Wilson might have shot that one. But nevertheless, the Burnaby Lakers are doing a good job here of killing this penalty off. 14 seconds to go in the penalty, 7:55 to go in this first period, a 2-2 tie. Then Helchies. Helchies fakes a pass to Lorenz, gets open and lost control of the ball, and Helchies pays for it as he takes a high stick. That one by Goodwin. Burnaby controls, and now out of the penalty box is Cassat.
And there we saw Helchies try the same thing as his alternate number 11, as Callison did on the Burnaby power play, but unfortunately the Red Sea sort of closed on him on the Burnaby defense, and he also had his teammate Peter Park ambling through the middle of the defense and essentially getting in the way.
Brad Dixon takes a slash, and he goes down, he's hurt. And that slash went undetected, and Burnaby now in control as Brad Dixon is still on the floor in front of the penalty box, and he looks hurt. And after he took that slash, I think he was hoping more on a call by the officials, but Dixon slowly gets up.
Well, you see Dixon getting up to his feet. Now, I actually didn't see the slash myself. I don't know if you fellows did, but as you say, I think part of his the length of time he spent on the floor was trying to get a call from the referees. But I think as most of us know, you are not going to get a call from the referees after the fact like that.
No, very seldom. They're not going to change their mind. I don't think that neither one of the officials, in all fairness to both, and we do have two senior guys out there doing the game tonight, I don't think, in fairness to them, that either one of them actually saw what happened.
Yeah, once again, it was behind the play a little bit, and I think both guys were trying to keep up with the play and just didn't catch it.
Loose ball picked up in front by Hurd, shot right on the target. Mann got a piece of that one. 6:56 left as New West Don McNeil controls over to Randy Jones. Jones trying to get open. Lost control of it. Now here's a breakaway chance. Moving up, it's Danny Stroop. Stroop picks it up. He's got three guys chasing him. Right in. Oh, off the bar. The rebound. Right out. I think the player stopped that one. I think Randy Jones might have blocked it, but Stroop a great chance. That's got to be tough for a lacrosse player. I know it's bad enough for a hockey player, me playing the game, but being a non-lacrosse player on a breakaway, you got three guys chasing you, you don't have a lot of time.
Now, there isn't an awful lot of time to make a lot of decisions there. And
penalty on the play.
And we credit Randy Jones with one of the two saves in that sequence.
A delayed call against the New West Salmonbellies as Burnaby get the extra attacker out. And now I think things have been evened up here. No, there's going to be two New Westminster penalties.
Now here's a situation where when you got a delayed penalty, the second penalty's called, it's an automatic whistle.
And also an automatic possession. So instead of Burnaby having to go out and get the face-off, they'll be given possession on this, which is a tremendous advantage. As you see, Hurd, Stewart, Callison, as you see the New Westminster players both hightailing it to the bench.
I will have a chance to see what their defensive play is like right now, Dave.
You're darn right. I think New Westminster, we mentioned this in the first game, traditionally they've had a very good man short play. It's going to be tested supremely right now.
Time the penalty, 13.
Sinclair for slashing, and Miloski for the original high sticking penalty has New Westminster shorthanded.
2 minutes, slashing.
Now here's a steal. Stroop over to Russ Hurd. He's got time. Off to Stroop, right on. Mann had that angle covered. And a low percentage shot there. Perhaps Stroop could have hung on to it a little longer, but instead took the shot.
Yeah, that's not the kind of shot you want to take in a power play, especially a 5-on-3 power play. Stroop definitely should have held onto that ball, let the power play get set up, and gone from there.
A lot of war of words being displayed out there between these two teams at this point. Two-man advantage for Burnaby. There's a shot as Stroop tried to squeeze by on the far post. Picked up by Wilson. Now to Callison. Keith Callison to Wilson. Moffat on the right, gets the ball. Shot right on, Mann the save. And Moffat retains possession as that ball, apparently the referee had thought it went off a Ogilvy sticking out of play. So Burnaby, 1 minute left in the penalties. Here's Hurd, open, shot wide. Callison can't pick it up. Johnny Wilson tries. He can't pick it up. And now he'll try as he goes all the way back to his own zone. With 14 seconds on the shot clock, Wilson will have to get it up floor quickly for a shot. Hurd. Shot off the target, bounces and hits the ceiling. So it'll be New Westminster ball.
And with 42 seconds left on those double penalties to New Westminster, Burnaby's power play really has looked ineffective. A couple of very low percentage shots by Stroop and Wilson, and really not an awful lot of ball movement in that power play.
4:48 to go in this first period. A 2-2 tie and a two-man advantage with only 33 seconds remaining in both penalties for the Lakers.
So far, Dave, I have to agree with you. The defensive action for the Salmonbellies looks a lot better than the power play for the Lakers.
Yeah, and this could turn out to be a real key part in the game. It's not that often you get a two-man advantage, and you've really got to do something with it.
Lakers now down to 25 seconds as Wilson tries a shot that goes wide and Brad Dixon picks it up. Dixon's got some wheels, but he's got to beat Callison. Dixon lost control, a loose ball. Tried to be picked up by Hilties, but it's picked up by Moffat. Now he loses it. And Oliver Marty just turns it over into Burnaby territory, and they get called on the over and back. 5 seconds. Here's Hurd right in on goal, and the over and back game. Is it called over and back? It's when a team is shorthanded. They can hold the ball for as long as they want, but they can't have the ball go past the center line. Is that
as soon as you get the advance the ball over the, not the center line, but the white line on the offensive side of the floor, you can't go back over the line, whether it be accidental or intentional or whatever. That turns the ball over to the team with the power play.
That's for some of our fans at home who have never seen a lacrosse game before. This one, Game 4 of the Western Lacrosse Association final 2-1 series lead for New West, a 2-2 tie with 3:35 to go in this first period.
And as I mentioned, that power play with a two-man advantage could really turn out to be a key part in this game, depending upon the outcome, because Burnaby really looked ineffective. And not only do they not score, it's also kind of emotionally draining to the players on the bench to see the power play that ineffective in a situation like that.
New West trying to get a loose ball in front. It's Peterson doing some hard work. Well, there's a loose ball. And that one will go against Burnaby, so New Westminster gets possession. Now Del Monte. 3 minutes. 3 minutes on the clock left in this first period and a 2-2 tie. Del Monte, that shot right on. Dallas Elliott holds that one out. He hasn't been tested in a while because of the power play. Now Darren London will get a chance. London against Peter Park. Goes for the bounce pass back to Moffat and then goes off for a change. So Burnaby sends out fresh troops. With 15 seconds on the shot clock, here's Dan Stroop. Stroop tries to make some moves, does so again, gets behind Taylor. And that ball picked up by Peterson. Peterson leads a 3-on-2. Might get a chance to shoot there. Tried to fake the pass to Taylor and then got knocked off the ball. Here's Park. Park being bothered by Ahonen. One of the call-ups from the Burnaby Lakers, junior club, for tonight's game. The other two call-ups, number 22, Darren McEwen, as well number 3, Brett Crosby, all in the lineup because of injuries. Paul Torrey is out for the Lakers, so is Troy Pelzer, Brad Henry and Rob Sumner and Rick Rawson, so lots of injuries in the Burnaby Lakers lineup. Plus guys playing her. Now Moffat's checked off the ball by Peterson, and both those players are going to have some words. Are they going to scrap? No, I don't think they want to. They look at each other, they're going to both go to the penalty box. Peterson for New Westminster and Moffat for Burnaby.
Again, very obvious, foolish penalties to take when they're right in front of the referee, Dave Durante.
Yeah, I think this is the first we've seen in this series, really, of too much heated pushing and shoving and so forth. But it's really been a kind of an odd period so far. Sloppy in parts, some good plays in parts, and that's at least the third or fourth really stupid penalty that's been taken. I'm sure both coaches, Bob Salt of Burnaby and Jack Fulton of Westminster, will be letting their players know about that between periods.
1:40 left in this first period. Roughing penalties to Moffat and Peterson. 4-on-4 situation out there now. Keith Callison along the boards. Being checked by Ogilvie, gets away. Callison, one of the goal scorers for Burnaby. Goodwin, the other one. In a 2-2 tie here with 1:20 left in this first period. Marty and Jones have the New Westminster goals. Randy Jones, his brother Paul, out of the lineup tonight. And there's a chance for Miloski. Breakaway, and here is a turnover as Johnny Wilson gets in the way of Kurt Miloski. Before he get a chance, and here's Randy Jones sneaking in and almost got a good chance there, and he shot wide. Now Miloski to Ogilvie. Ogilvie tries to get around his man, does so, takes a shot over top of the net, and here's a delayed penalty. I believe it will go to Jariga.
Slashing penalty, again an obvious, very foolish penalty, but you know, you were talking about the heated voices, the way the players were jacking at each other for a little while. The last couple of contests they've had, they've really been boisterous towards each other. There's no real love lost between these two teams, and it's I think it's only going to get a lot more hectic out there in the fourth.
Yeah, I'm sure the New Westminster players think back to a couple of years ago when Burnaby knocked them out of the playoffs after they'd won the league championship. I'm sure that's in the back of their minds, and that kind of. There's also some ex-New Westminster junior players playing for the Burnaby team, so you get that kind of chirpiness and talking back and forth amongst the players.
New Westminster will make a full change now as they'll finish the rest of this period on the power play. Oliver Marty at the bottom right of your screen has the ball. Looks back to the side here for Hilches. Hilches to Jones, and then Park, I thought, put it in. But maybe the net made a funny bounce there, but good save there. And there's a long pass attempted to John Wilson. And goes astray with 30 seconds to go in this first period. Randy Jones. Nice pass up the side to Marty, in front of the net for Park. Rebound, Marty scores!
Nice second effort by Oliver Marty, and a great first save by Dallas Elliott, coming across the crease quickly to make the save on Peter Park. But once again, Oliver Marty in the right place at the right time.
That'll be a power play goal.
Sorry, there you see the first big save, and Elliott lost control of that rebound. The Burnaby players had their backs turned, and that power play, we've talked about the power play before and the stupid penalties, and you know, New Westminster's 2 for 2 on their power play. Burnaby basically 1 for 3, actually 1 for 2, but one of those power plays was a 2-man advantage where they actually had potentially 2 chances to score. And in a close series like this, in close games, you've got to make that power play count consistently. Westminster's doing it.
Down to 9 seconds on the clock now, and this 3-2 lead for New Westminster. Oliver Marty gets his second goal of the period, and for Randy Jones, his third point of the period, in a 3-2 New West lead as the period comes to an end. 11 seconds showing on coincidental penalties to Peterson and Moffat, so they'll be in the penalty box for that time in this second, for the beginning of the second period. As you see, New Westminster heading off, and a pretty good period, guys. We've seen 5 goals, so defensively, things have seemed to open up a little bit. And a great period for Oliver Marty, and Marty on the power play on that right side, taking over for Colin Sinclair. Looks good.
Well, the biggest thing I've noticed out there so far is the simple fact that New West is shooting, and they're shooting a lot faster. The same style they were doing against the Coquitlam Adanacs, and they haven't done that in any other game so far in this series.
Lots of shots by Burnaby, and Dave, lots of shots by New West as well, and or I should say not so many shots by Burnaby, lots of shots by New West.
Yeah, and of the shots that Burnaby's had, a lot of them very low percentage shots, bad angles from well out, and Steve makes a very good point there. New Westminster releasing the ball very quickly on their shots, and as I mentioned earlier in the period, very tough for a goaltender to move when he set himself to get across and get back in position to make that save. And Elliott's had a great period, but all 3 goals have pretty much been on those quick releases.
Guys, what's Burnaby going to have to do here to get their offense going? They only trailed by 1 goal, but they did falter on that 2-man advantage power play.
Well, I don't think they're really down. The biggest thing is after they scored the last goal, I watched Callison go off to the bench, and he was really dejected. He wasn't so much upset with goaltending. He was really concerned with the lack of, I guess, productivity from the teammates. He felt that they're on the attack and they're doing an awful lot in the offensive zone, but they're not doing enough in their defensive zone to protect and give the goaltender the help that he really needs.
Goodwin got things going for Burnaby at 2:10 on that goal to open things up for Burnaby, and then New Westminster's Marty on the power play from Hilches and Randy Jones at 4:28. And then Randy Jones from Ogilvie and McNeil gave New West a brief 2-1 lead before Callison tied things up on the power play from Hurd and Stroop, and then Oliver Marty with his second goal on the power play, his second of the period at 19 minutes and 39 seconds of that first period. And it looks pretty good for Randy Jones and Oliver Marty, and it looks good for the Salmonbellies if they intend to increase that 2-1 series lead and take a commanding 3-1 lead into New West on Sunday night.
Yeah, Oliver Marty had an outstanding period, as did Randy Jones. Randy had he's been fairly silent in this series, and he's a guy they've got to look to. And I mentioned it earlier in the game, Peter Park's in a bit of a slump, and I think New Westminster, the edge they perhaps have over Burnaby is that if one of their big guns goes into a slump, such as Peter Park, they certainly have the resources, the other guys, to come back and pick up the slack, such as Oliver Marty has done tonight. Burnaby, on the other hand, Russ Hurd's been in a bit of a slump for them, and they don't really have quite the number of offensive players to come to pick up the slack.
He's going to try to, or let us have that ring, and beautiful ring at that there, Dave. And
well, you'd be surprised at people that actually come down and ask me what type of ring Dave was wearing there, and they wanted to see it. They were quite concerned. I have to tell you right now, I don't know whether you gentlemen have noticed, but Mr. Hilches is sporting a different face mask for this series than he had during the Coquitlam-Adirondack series. And I was talking to Rusty, the trainer for the Salmonbellies, and he said that the training staff, they like to more or less change some of the equipment on the more competitive players in the game.
And that's something I did notice, but I hadn't seen a lot of games all this year, so I wasn't sure if Mr. Ben Hilches had purchased that at the beginning of the season or not. So here we are, the beginning of the second period. Both teams now at full strength. 6 players aside, counting goaltenders, and a 3-2 lead for the New Westminster Salmonbellies. They lead the series by a score of 2-1. Game 4 here at the Coquitlam Sports Center, the Burnaby Lakers home game. If you're just joining us, you're watching it on Rogers Cable TV. I'm Terry Murray with Dave Evans and Steve Erickson up in the booth. Also downstairs, our director, Jim Reese, Uwe Cruz, and the rest of the Rogers Cable sports crew. And I can never get Uwe's name right, but Carls, and last time I called him Uwe Krupp, but it's Uwe Carls. He's our graphics guy, and the rest of the Rogers Cable sports crew does a great job, as they are tonight here, bringing you Game 4 of the Western Lacrosse Association Final. As I mentioned, in Coquitlam, Burnaby's rink is not allowed to be used during the playoffs because it's too small.
Terry, you mentioned hoping for a 7-game series. I think the reason you're hoping for a 7-game series is so eventually you'll get Uwe's name right by the end of the series.
I'm going to write it down next time. Uwe works hours doing our graphics, as that's what we pay him the big bucks for, and that's why we don't get paid anything, because there's no money left. Thanks, Uwe. 18:29 left in this second period, and we got a bit of a mix-up with the 30-second clock.
Okay, so it's going to be red ball. Okay. About 25? You said at 25?
You can hear referee Pat Difford talking. We have a mic on Pat Difford tonight, the referee.
Yeah, what happened there for the fans that are a little unaware of the 30-second clock? Of course, the 30-second clock resets after a shot on goal, and for some reason, either the official signal wasn't picked up by the 30-second clock operator, or he or she was just asleep at the switch. But the referees took charge of it, and you heard Pat Difford reset the clock at 5 seconds.
Here's number 8, Dan Stroop. Stroop to Hurd. Hurd the shot off the target, as many of his shots in this series have gone. Russ Hurd cannot find the mark. There's a rebound for Hurd. He shoots, scores!
And just as you said it, I mean, I guess maybe that's what Russ Hurd needs to get him going. Basically, a kind of a gift goal. Just pick up the loose ball, threw to the open net. Rick Mang, I think, Certainly wasn't at fault on the goal, but he did give up a big rebound just prior to that. You'll see the long shot come from outside. Mann gives up a huge rebound, took the gamble, went outside to pick up the loose ball and paid the price for it.
Time the goal, 2 minutes, 4 seconds.
Well, if Hurd gets the chance and they allow him to shoot, doesn't matter where Hurd shoots from, if they allow him to get set up and take the shots, he's going to capitalize on those things because he's got a tremendous shot.
Yeah, eventually they're going to start going, and he's had some trouble. He's been pressing a little bit. Maybe that's what he needs to get him going. A bit of an easy goal. Maybe things will start rolling his way now.
Kettles and Stroop on the face-off here now, and Stroop gets control of the ball.
Well, that's an unusual situation there.
Yeah, and I believe Kettles was not lining up fairly enough.
Actually, Burnaby's done a pretty good job over the series on the face-offs. Kettles, probably one of the 2 or 3 best face-off men in the league, and Burnaby overall has done a pretty nice job neutralizing him.
Here's Callison right in on goal, and his stick was hit just as he released the ball. So that shot went off the target, and he had some room upstairs. 2 minutes and 37 seconds gone in the second period. A 3-3 tie. It was 3-2 for the Salmonbellies after one. And Hurd has come on to tie things up here in the second period. Van Heltjes tries to get around the big man. Russ Hurd tries the back shot, around the back shot, and that one goes for naught, picked up by Russ Hurd. And now
We're having a penalty called, and I believe it's going to number 7, Jamie Stewart,
as well
for slashing. Oh, coincidental.
Looks like Sinclair going off as well, and I think
Flash each. Flash belt.
Each one for slashing, both 2-minute minor penalties. You know, you were talking earlier about the Callison brothers. I had a privilege of talking to Mrs. Callison over in Burnaby in Queen's Park last week, and she's just a real sweetheart of a lady to talk to. I asked her if she was going to make any predictions. She said, not in your life.
no, I can't say as I blame her. You know, I think we might see after a little bit of not so much fisticuffs, but the pushing and shoving we had in the first period, I think you might see referees Durrani and Difford call things just a little tighter this period, just to get control of things.
Mann didn't even move on that one. He never moved.
I think Rick Mann, that's the second time we've seen him, and actually the third time if we count the shot that banged off the pipe early in the period. You'll see Callison's shot, and oddly enough, stick side. And what we saw there on the replay is he was moving, but he was moving forward. And sometimes if a goaltender, well, not sometimes, most of the time, if a player shoots just as a goaltender is moving forward and gets him in that step moving forward, it's almost impossible for a goaltender to move laterally once that happens. And that's what happened there. You saw Mann just taking that step forward as the ball was released, and he was caught in mid-step. No way in the world he could move laterally.
So Callison unassisted at 3 minutes and 15 seconds left. Or gone in this second period. Here's Lorenz. Lorenz is shot right on a delayed penalty to Burnaby.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure who it's going to go against. I believe Keith Callison's going to get the...
Yeah, we're calling him on that. Holding belt.
Holding minor.
Huh?
It's going to the captain of the team.
Sure I have. Half a dozen times anyway.
You hear Wilson talking to referee Pat Difford.
2 minutes for holding.
You know, I've known Pat Difford for many, many years, so we used to play together, and you are not going to change Pat Difford's mind. There's
not at all.
a chance
Pat,
in the world that Pat's going to change his mind.
Talk about world. Pat used to referee in the old WHA, the defunct WHA, when I worked it, and Pat and I did a lot of games together, and once he gets his mind set on something, forget it.
Now New Westminster on the power play. Peter Park on the left side, Hiltjes up the middle. Randy Jones and as well Oliver Marty, and Jones finishes it off on a rocket. And that's twice now that Randy Jones has scored goals in this game, and both of them have been hard shots.
Power play goal too, Dip.
And that's 3 for 3 on the power play. I'm sure Bob Salt mentioned it to his players between periods. I'm sure they're going to hear it again. And there we just saw the Burnaby player just literally allow Randy Jones to step in. And Randy Jones, a veteran, we mentioned he was a scoring champion a couple of years ago. And you simply cannot, no matter how strong your goaltending is, you mentioned with Russ Hurd, Randy Jones, you can't let these players have those kind of shots because they're going to put him in the net like Randy Jones did there.
So Randy Jones, here's McNeil. McNeil right in on goal, and Elliott makes the save. Now it's picked up by Jones. Randy Jones. Back pass to Ogilvy. He'll slow things down. He has Hurd checking him. Andy Ogilvy Tried to drop pass for Jones, hung onto it. Tries a low shot just off the target. With 10 seconds left on the shot clock, Rick Mann will move the ball up for McNeil. Now to Jones. 5 seconds on the shot clock. That's picked off there by number 6, Toussaint. He has trouble with it. Hurd will try to get the loose ball and move it over for Stroop, who can't pick it up. Stroop has Ogilvie all over him. Andy Ogilvie not giving up. Does come up with a loose ball and now loses it. Again has a chance for it, and a good job by Ogilvie. Good perseverance here to get that loose ball. And now the goaltender, Elliott, gets control of it, and it'll be Burnaby ball. What a good shift for Andy Ogilvie.
Great effort by Andy Ogilvie. And once again, maybe time for a ball change, because it appeared nobody wanted that. But a great effort by Andy Ogilvie.
Now we're down to no time left on Sinclair and Stewart's penalties. They return to the floor. Johnny Wilson just pushes the ball back, and that's picked up by Juriga. For Keith Cowison, who has a pair of goals here tonight. 4-4 tie here in Coquitlam, game 4 of the Western Lacrosse Association final. Taking a break in between Minto Cup action here, which is hosted by the Coquitlam Adanacs. And here's Sinclair on a breakaway, right in, shoots it wide. The red light flickered on for a moment, but the ball did not enter the net. I can guarantee you that because Kurt Miloski has it before he goes off for a change.
Wasn't even close to the net.
No, I think that's very unlike Colin Sinclair. One thing Colin Sinclair generally does, if he doesn't put the ball in net, he at least forces a goaltender to make a save, and that was easy pickings for Dallas Elliott this time.
There's a shot and a hard one by Del Monte that goes out of play. And that's picked up by number 18, Andy Graham.
And once again, Burnaby allowing Del Monte to wind up and take that good outside shot. And those are good high percentage shots from there. And I think you're going to see Burnaby, once Bob Salt gets a chance to talk to the players, be a little more aggressive and get out and put a little more pressure on the ball carrier.
Good one. Toussaint took a shot, and again, that light flickered on for a sec, but guaranteed that one stayed out. That was off to the right of the net. A lot of the fans on the opposite side of the viewing area had thought that one had entered the net, much like the goal judge did. 13:40 to go in this second period. 4-4 is the score. Hilches dumps the pass off for Cowison, and Ben picks it up in the left corner. Ben Hilches to Eric Cowison, and that ball will go all the way down to Rick Mang, who will have to get it back in a hurry because the shot clock's running out, and he does so. So it'll be Burnaby ball.
It's something I've noticed over the last 2 or 3 minutes or so of this period. New Westminster's starting to get a lot more loose balls than Burnaby is, and that generally is a pretty good indication of who's controlling the play.
Russ Hurd takes a shot there as he tries to get some offense for Burnaby going. Burnaby scored 2 goals in this second period. New West just won in this 4-4 tie. It was 3-2 after 1 period. Moffat to Hurd. Hurd will try to make a move and pass, but that was picked off by the Salmonbellies. Now a long pass by Dixon. Here's Brad Dixon with only Russ Hurd to beat. He gets the bounce shot away and is picked up easy by Dallas Elliott, and then moves the ball up for Scott Ionen. Ionen dumps it off for Johnny Wilson. Wilson with Juriga out there. Along the right boards, also with Graham. Puts a pass in there from number 10, Malcolm, and here comes a delayed penalty. This one to Patterson for high sticking.
One thing that the Salmonbellies are doing right now is they're really clearly outrunning Burnaby. If it's a foot race, Burnaby's in the situation right now, Dave, where they've lost it.
Yeah, it seems that way. Burnaby are definitely the chasers in terms of any foot races and any loose ball competitions. This is a key situation here now. We talked about how poorly Burnaby's power play was on that 2-man advantage. This is a chance for them to redeem themselves. A 1-man advantage. Once again, a pretty obvious penalty for referee Ray Durante to call there.
Makes you think, when they get a power play advantage, if it's not going that well, maybe they should decline the penalty.
Yeah, they may have to look into that. But they did score their first power play of the game, so let's not be too hard on their power play. But this is one that, as I say, gives them a good chance to redeem themselves.
Off the face-off, Burnaby now in control as Andy Ogilvie did a good bit of offensive forechecking, came up with the ball but lost his balance. So Burnaby's power play. They're 1 for 3 on the night. Stroop being worked over in front of the net by Ogilvie. He gets the ball on the left side. Nice pass for Wilson. Wilson takes a shot off the target. Now in front of the net. Loose ball, and that'll be a crease violation and picked up by the Salmonbellies. Here's Brad Dixon. Dixon has a man open on the side. Dixon goes for the shot. The rebound there for Oliver Marty. He can't pick it up. He's going to pay the price, however. He stands in front and takes a pounding. And now back comes Burnaby with 1:10 left in the penalty. 11:30 to go in this second period. Wilson, the low shot. Mang the save. That goes out of play.
I've been impressed with Oliver Marty tonight. You mentioned he took the pounding in front of the net. He's not afraid at all to take that physical abuse in front of the net, and it almost got him his hat trick for the evening.
Loose ball, Graham can't pick it up. Ogilvy does. And now that'll be a turnover. Somebody was interfering off behind the play. And the fans don't like that one. Not a bad crowd here tonight at all. I don't mind saying so, but not as good as the Minto Cup. There's been just tremendous crowds in that one. Of course, the Minto Cup emblematic of Canadian junior lacrosse supremacy. 6 nations and the Adanacs tied at 1. Here's Eric Cowson, dumps it off for McNeil, scores! Great goal! Burns is sleeping there.
Well, Steve, I think it's definitely time to start declining penalties. I don't think there's anything more demoralizing in a sport, be it hockey or lacrosse, than giving up a short-handed goal, especially after your power play on their previous opportunity didn't play well. And once again, Cowson allowed Eric Cowson, this time, allowed to come right up the middle of the floor, dished it off to Donnie McNeil, and Donnie McNeil, a former scoring champion of the Junior A League, knows how to put the ball in the net when he gets the chances.
Well, Cowson held the ball long enough to draw players over towards him, made the pass, capitalized on the power play, or on the short-handed situation.
And there's a weird one there as Don McNeil went after a loose ball and Rick Mang, both of them collided. Mang got the ball off the boards and it bounced back off the boards so fast it almost went in an empty net. And a 5-4 lead for New Westminster, second period action, 10:30 to go. And 7 seconds left now in that penalty to Scott Patterson as he's set to return to the floor. And back he is, so New Westminster successful in killing another penalty. Burnaby 1 for 4 on their power play, and they've given up one shorthanded goal. That one by McNeil. It has the Salmonbellies ahead 5-4.
And as we close in on the halfway point in this game, if you want to look at one key point in this game, definitely special teams. New Westminster 5 goals, 3 on the power play, 1 shorthanded. That's got to be the game so far.
Here's Darren London, the shot. And I'm not sure if Mann got a piece of that or if that was the goal post, but Darren London tested the New Westminster netminder. Now, here's Dan Stroop. Scott Ahonen. The shot scored!
And Scott Ahonen, I was just about to say, prior to him taking that shot, that watching him play the other night in the third game, one thing you'll say for Scotty Ahonen, he is not afraid to shoot the ball. And that shot, it's a third long shot that's beaten Rick Mang. You've got to wonder if maybe Jack Fulton and Steve Manning are perhaps thinking about making a goaltending change. It's tough when you've only given up 5 goals. But Rick Mang has looked a little shaky tonight on those outside shots.
Burnaby goal scored by number 34, Scott Ahonen. The assist to number 9, Russ Hurd.
Another assist to Hurd.
Ooh, there's a shot again by Ahonen that went off the goaltender's protector. Should be a little more descriptive when I say protector because he is one big blotch of protection. You have to be to stand in front of that hard ball. Just ask me when I was at that game earlier last week, Steve, and I took that one in the back, doing some notes.
That's all right. I walked across the floor tonight and I was getting Mr. Selt for an interview and got hit in the side of the face with the bouncing ball.
There's a nice save by Dallas Heliak as he's standing up tall. That one off the shot of Peter Park. Now Moffat loses control. The loose ball there, almost picked up by Ahonen. Now Moffat. Across the floor to Cowson to Wilson. Wilson tries to get open, looks for a pass to Cowson, or to Malcolm, I should say. And that save was made, and back come the Salmonbellies. Park, who needs to get going, takes a shot off the target. 8:27 to go now in the second period. Back comes Wilson. Wilson will slow down as he takes a wrap by Ogilvy. And now 8 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the second period, and a 5-all tie. in a very close series, 2-1, the Salmonbellies lead it. They won game 1 7-6. They lost game 2 7-5, and they won game 3 6-5. And as mentioned, a 5-5 tie here in the second period. Game 4 here in Coquitlam. There's a shot right on the target here. Oh, and Keith Callison looking to pick that one up on the go. Left it behind for the Salmonbellies. Here's Kurt Molosky with 7 seconds on the shot clock. Molosky off to the right. Picked up there and shot by Marty. And picked up there by Elliott. Elliott's not too happy with that as he goes after the loose ball, and he's going to get a slashing penalty. Now Elliott's going to go out all over Marty. A bunch of players getting involved in this one, and Marty's throwing punches. And now we got all 5 involved in this one. Marty's going to take it away. Let's leave it at that, you guys. Gets loose. Come on, you guys.
Here's Pat Differ trying to get things straightened out there.
Lacrosse left, you guys. That's it.
You see the mess down in the far corner to the right. I really don't think Elliott had any cause for any tremendous complaint.
No, neither do I. Elliott come out, he took a slash at one player, and as another one ran behind the net, he took a second slash at him, and there was no real need for that. It was just probably sheer frustration because
he can take a whack at it,
things really aren't going the way that he's expecting right now.
Okay, here we go.
Dallas is getting a little frustrated because if for no other reason, the players is
somebody on the floor, okay? It's got to be somebody on the floor.
The crease, and he took a couple of people, taking section to a couple of people swinging at his stick. But as far as the rules go, and I think you heard Pat Differ mention that during this little discussion down there, shall we call it, that if the goaltender's stick is outside the crease, that's fair game. There you saw Elliott in behind, take a shot at Marty, and really nothing major transpired after the original slash by Elliott.
We can get another look at that one. I think originally Elliott was a little bit upset because he thought he had control while he was in his crease, but he was actually a step or two out of the crease, and Elliott was looking for the crease violation, and he took exception to that, and then took a shot at Oliver Marty. So the delayed penalty was against Elliott. There you see Marty in the penalty box.
Roughing and slashing.
So
like that. 2 each. 2 for Dallas. Somebody on the floor. We got the numbers written down there.
Slashing. So it looks like we could even up here. Mind you, see 2 more minutes. Now another 2 minutes has been put up on the time clock, so it looks like it's going to be a little Well, we got to remind all the fans that Game 5 of the Western Lacrosse Association final will be played at Queen's Park Arena on Sunday, August 30th at 8 p.m. Lakers and the Salmonbellies, will they be tied at 2, or will it be a 3-1 lead for the Salmonbellies?
Now we have to remind everybody that depending on what happens with the other series, the Junior A series, the Minto Cup, that will be determined on when the games will be played for the final part of this series.
As you mentioned, Terry, coincident minors there, and I'd like to think that Bob Salt is really, really lucky to come out of this one with no manpower disadvantage.
And then Steve Manning and Jackie Fulton a little bit upset on the New Westminster side.
Yeah, I think we can consider ourselves fortunate we don't have them mic'd at this time, because I don't think their comments towards the officiating would be good for public consumption.
I think they're off the Christmas card list.
You got that right.
Here's Ogilvie doing some hard work. Takes it. Attempted pass that goes to straight and is picked up by Russ Hurd. 7 minutes to go in this second period, a 5-5 tie. You're watching the Western Lacrosse Association final, Game 4 here in Coquitlam. The Burnaby Lakers and the New Westminster Salmonbellies tied at 5 in the game, and 2-1 series lead for New Westminster. Burnaby would love to get back into this series to make it a 2-2 affair. They have their backs against the wall, down 3-1, heading into New Westminster on Sunday night, 8 p.m., Queen's Park Arena. Now John Wilson. Wilson with a burst of speed, lost control of the ball, and he's checked nicely by Hilges. Wilson takes exception to that one, but back comes Todd Lorenz. Lorenz with 6:10 on the clock. 38 seconds left in the coincidental minors. Now Park the shot, and the bullet that goes off of Elliott's protector, not a play. It'll be Burnaby ball.
And that's certainly not the type of shot we expect from Peter Park. As we've mentioned a couple of times, he really hasn't been productive in this series, and really not that productive in the Coquitlam series for that matter. And he's got to be getting a little bit frustrated. That's certainly a sign of frustration when a goal scorer as strong as Peter Park takes those kind of low percentage shots.
Another low percentage shot taken by Stewart. That one goes off the mark, and New Westminster has possession now. Here's Peter Park. Just 5 seconds left in the penalties as we have a little bit of action behind the play. Todd Lorenz and Johnny Wilson. Wilson thinks he's going to the penalty box.
Wait.
And Wilson's in the penalty box.
Yeah, let's go.
Wilson went in the penalty box, and all Pat Differ did was walk between the two and was talking to him. Makes you think he's got a guilty conscience.
Is that a guilty conscience or what?
Well,
I blew the whistle to start the play. I didn't stop it, did I?
the situation that took place was they were yakking at each other behind the play. A little bit of frustration. Pat Differ, the referee, walked over between the two of them and just talked to him. And Wilson walked over and actually went in the penalty box.
And yeah, we mentioned before the game, talking about Todd Lorenz, what a little bit of a needler instigator he was. And we got a great example of that there.
Oh, there's a rocket by Park. It's right on as Elliott holds on to that one. There's 1:48 showing on the penalty clock here, but there's no penalties. So in case our clock gets in on the pitcher, there is not a penalty. We are at even strength. Now Stewart takes a shot at Peter Park. Had to stick around him, and Burnaby retains possession.
I guess Wilson going to the penalty box got the penalty timekeeper confused too.
Scott Ahonen. Pass it off for Moffat. Moffat into the slot. Stroop the shot. Just off the target. I thought that one might have snuck in.
That didn't miss by much, that's for sure. Once again, Mann caught moving out and not in a position to move laterally on that outside shot.
Moffat a shot right on, and Stroop goes after the rebound. Now in the right corner after it. Does get it. Stroop with a new shot clock has possession for the Lakers. And that pass goes all the way down to the Lakers zone with 4:30 to go in the second period, a 5-5 tie. Here's Scott Ahonen, the junior Laker, playing his second game in a call-up role. Now Johnny Wilson looking for a loose ball. Can't get it, Mann does. And now here's Randy Jones with a pair tonight. His line mate Oliver Marty also has a pair. I should say line mate on the power play. Other New Westminster goals scored by McNeil. And that's it, McNeil in a 5-5 tie. I'm looking for more goals on my score sheet. Cusat for Burnaby with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Looks for a pass, gives it off for Stewart. Stewart's a shot, it's blocked. Here's another chance for Goodwin with 2 seconds. A chance in front for Cusat. And he had to get rid of that one, as that one was right at the 30-second buzzer, and a good job to get it away.
Uncharacteristic little bit of falling asleep on defense by New Westminster, leaving Cusat wide open. Unfortunately, he didn't really have time to do very much. Only 1 second left on the shot clock, and also he was on the wrong side of the floor.
3:10 left in the second period. There's a chance for Dixon right on. Elliott makes the save. Who's going to take the lead next? 5-5 tie. 3 minutes left in the second period. Game 4 of the Western Lacrosse Association Final here in Coquitlam. This is Burnaby's home game. Burnaby cannot play their games at home at their home rink in Burnaby Lake. Voted too small by the executive in the Western Lacrosse for playoff action. Game 5 in this series goes Sunday night at 8 p.m. at Queen's Park Arena. Games 6 and 7 have yet to be determined sites. All pending the outcome of that Minto Cup lacrosse action series between Six Nations and the Junior Adnaks. Oh, and there's a shot off the boards, and that one taken off the boards by Malcolm.
You could hear him.
Thought I was in Sarajevo. No pun intended for the poor souls who have to live in that former Yugoslav republic. This is not politics, this is lacrosse. A shot by Hilches that goes off the target. Now Sinclair picks it up. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Colin Sinclair for a rare shift. Takes a shot right on. Elliott makes the save. Now Taylor. On that new shot clock as New West controls. Oliver Marty now. He holds on to it. Doing a good job. Oliver Marty looking for a chance to let that shot rip. Gives it off for Hilches. Hilches puts it inside for Sinclair, And that'll be a crease violation with 1:35 to go in the second period.
Young Oliver Marty continues to impress me. You mentioned looking for the open man. He was taking a bit of a pounding there, but always had his head up, always looking for the open man, eventually dished it off to Helges, who almost got that pass through to Colin Sinclair.
Here's Goodwin. He opened the scoring in tonight's game. That pass going off of number 12, Darren London's stick. Now Oliver Marty. Marty does a good job to get away from London. Starts up the floor for New West with 1 minute left in the second period. A 5-5 tie. Just superb lacrosse action here at the Coquitlam Sports Center. Patterson for Del Monte. Del Monte backs off, tries to get open, moves around, takes a shot, and again, Dallas Elliott is there. Now a loose ball picked up there by Joel Broughton. And moving up on the play was Bruce Davidson, and here comes a delayed penalty to Burnaby. A high sticking call, or it might be against New Westminster. They had possession when the whistle blew. But a funny play, as I was going to comment, Davidson just went up to hit a New Westminster player and hit his own player, Darren London.
And the way Bruce Davidson came in and took a jump at that play, Bruce Davidson's nickname is Rabbit, and perhaps that's where he got the nickname from for that hopping ability. And Paul Del Monte, you know, we talked about the dumb penalties all night. I guess perhaps this might be a good time for Burnaby to try that declining the penalty routine.
Well, we're going to see, because this was, again, another foolish penalty. All the penalties out there that are happening are so obvious. You know, it makes it easy on the referees.
22 seconds left in this second period. A 5-5 tie. Here's John Wilson. Wilson sends the ball back, and there goes Burnaby's last chance to get a shot. They might get one more shot with 7 seconds left. Keith Callison will have to get it up to 4 quickly, and they could get a chance there. And shot there by Stroop is taken. And Stroop takes a slash by Ogilvie, and he looks hurt after that shot. And Stroop stays down. But that's the second period here in a 5-5 tie. The New Westminster Salmonbellies 3-2 leaders after 1 period of play, and now 5-5 after 2. To the dressing room, and they'll get a very deserved rest after a very strong second period.
A very strong period indeed. But again, we have to say it's close. It's really a close, well-played game and a close series. You know, you can't take anything away from either team. They're all playing just exceptional. You know, it's going to be really hard to say what the outcome of the game is because of the simple fact I'm still going to just put my neck on the line here. I'm going to say that I'm thinking that Burnaby could come out the winners in this one.
Well, I think one of the keys we mentioned earlier, Burnaby's power play has got to start performing. They scored on their first power play, which maybe augured well for the rest of the game. Obviously, it didn't. It's really been ineffective since then. And New Westminster, of course, is 3 for 3 on their power play. So if, as you say, or if, as I said, actually, New Westminster ends up winning this game, that could turn out being the key to the whole thing.
Well, the story of the year and the story of the series so far has been close. It was 3-2 for New West after 1 period of play, and it was 3-2 for Burnaby after this second period, and a 5-5 tie. So Burnaby edges New West in the second period, and there's a scoring. Russ Hurd at 2:04 from Ahonen, and then Keith Callison unassisted at 3:15 before Randy Jones scored a power play goal, his second of the game, from Hilches and Park at 3:47. Then the shorthanded goal by McNeil, and Callison picked up that assist at 9:14. And then the goal by Scott Ahonen at 10 minutes and 18 seconds. It says Rob Sumner, but Scott Ahonen is a junior call-up who is wearing number 34 for tonight's game, with Sumner out for the season with an injury. And Scott Ahonen is looking real impressive out there in a Burnaby Laker uniform. Well, he looked good in that second period. The shots on goal was 17 apiece. for a 2-period total lead, if you can believe this one. 37 for New Westminster and 35 for Burnaby. And Dave, you kind of thought, and I agree with you on this one, the New Westminster shots were more quality shots to give Elliott those troubles.
Yeah, this is one of these situations. Sometimes shots on goal can be a very good indication of the way the game's being played. I think in this case, it's an indication, yes, that the game is very close, but what it doesn't tell you is the quality of shots. And I think New Westminster's shot selection, or the type of shots they had on Elliott, have been much better than Burnaby's. Part of that is due to the fact that New Westminster's power play has been a lot more productive in getting good shots.
Well, guys, should we get a coin out and make our coin flip to see if this one's going to go into overtime, or to find out who's going to win?
It's too close to call, but you know, the other evening in Queen's Park on the Monday night there, when they played, the foolish part about the whole, the foolish part about the whole thing the other evening was that New West had a wide open break. They got the bounce. There was 31 seconds left in the game. They were leading the game by a score of 6-5. The 30-second clock started right away, and what took place was that because they saw that they had a wide open goal, they took a long shot, and the coaching staff for New West were just ecstatic to the point that if they had have controlled it, they could have basically killed the whole 30 seconds off.
Yeah, I was standing up in the corner of Queen's Park watching that, and I thought, it was Paul Jones actually that took the shot, and I don't think it's directly responsible for him not being in the lineup tonight. I'm sure he's out of the lineup because of an injury situation, but really not the kind of thing you expect from a veteran player. And Steve Manning in particular, as a matter of fact, called a timeout with, I believe, 8 seconds left in the game, and I could see him going up one side of poor Paul Jones and down the other. I think Paul's ears are probably still burning after that.
So, third period action just underway, and it'll be a power play for Burnaby. 1 minute and 12 seconds remaining in Paul Del Monte's penalty. That one coming at the end of that second period. 5-5's the score here in game 4 of the best of 7 WLA final in Coquitlam. Burnaby's home game. If you've just joined us, you're watching Rogers Cable 4. I'm Terry Murray with Dave Evans and Steve Erickson in the broadcast booth. And the Rogers Cable Sports crew is here to bring you this Game 4. Game 5 is Sunday night at 8 p.m. in Coquitlam, or in New Westminster, on this delayed penalty to Burnaby now. Jariga is going to get the call. Or number 15, sorry, Bruce Davidson will get that one. Elchies will hold on to the ball, kill some time. And a delayed penalty to Burnaby. This will give New West a chance to get that potent power play going. And this clock will be run down by Ilches because New Westminster currently shorthanded. Now the shot clock gets going. Was it when they entered the offensive zones, Dave, why that shot clock wasn't going? 15.
Yeah, that's the rule. As soon as what New Westminster did is pulled their goaltender, put Peter Park out on the floor, but kept him on the defensive side of that rag line. Because as long as you're shorthanded in the offensive zone, the shot clock doesn't start. As soon as there were only 30 seconds left in the penalty, then Peter Park stepped over and the shot clock started as well.
Now we should let everybody at home know we were just giving an update on the score in the series back east as well.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, this is our investigative reporting dug into this situation, and Brampton won the game tonight in Ontario to take a 3-0 lead in that series. So, as expected, Brampton's pretty much got a stranglehold in that series over the Peterborough team in the Western Final. So it looks very much like whichever one of these teams should prevail in this series has got themselves a trip to Brampton, Ontario in store.
And has got themselves a pretty tough team in the Brampton Excelsiors.
Yeah, they haven't lost a game yet this year. This is their, let me get my calculator out, 23rd consecutive victory this year, counting playoffs. Not a bad record, and it's got to be a little intimidating for any team who does end up playing them.
Yeah, but they could go back there, and it might work to the team going back their advantage. The team back east might be a little complacent.
They could be, although Brampton hasn't been to a Mann Cup in a lot of years, so I don't know if complacency will be a thing. What it could turn out to be is the visiting team going in just saying, hey, we're really behind the 8 ball here, going out playing nice and loose, and son of a gun winning that first game and going from there.
Who will be that visiting team? It'll be one of these two. Hilches now to Lorenz on this power play. Randy Jones looking for the hat trick. Off to Hilches, back to Jones, to Hilches, Lorenz, the shot off the target. Now with just 4 seconds on the shot clock, it'll be Burnaby ball, as that one went out of play. 18:04 left in this third period. 5-5's the score, 1:20 left in that penalty. to Davidson of Burnaby.
And if Burnaby can kill this penalty, Terry, it could give them a real emotional lift. Because as you mentioned, Westminster's had a great job in the power play so far tonight. To kill the penalty in the third period and a key in a close game like this could really give the Lakers a lift.
Burnaby doing a good job here to kill valuable time here as Johnny Wilson had a good run with it. They still control. Now Wilson, nice pass into the corner for Stroop. Stroop will hang on to that one now. Does some dipsily-doodling around the boards and loses control of the ball at his feet. And now, a turnover, it'll be New Westminster balls. They get the power play unit back out there with 40 seconds left in the penalty. Helches with Lorenz, Jones, Park, and Oliver Martin. Park, that shot right on as Elliott made that save. And now a crease violation will be New Westminster ball. Am I right on that one?
Yeah, the ball was passed back into the crease by the Burnaby player. You cannot pass the ball back into your own crease. The offensive team cannot. If it is, it's a turnover to the defending team.
Now Randy Jones is loose. Jones right around, shoots, score!
Great individual effort by Randy Jones as he picks up the hat trick. And we talked about the New Westminster team having the players to pick up the slack if a couple other guys are in a bit of a slump. We know we mentioned Park hasn't been scoring. Ben Helges hasn't really been much of a threat tonight. And Randy Jones, who's been pretty silent throughout the series, comes up with a big game tonight. A great individual effort, picking off that loose ball. Beautiful one-on-one move, puts the ball short side. Then we see Jones pick up the loose ball. Great one-on-one move against Goodwin, puts the ball short side. Once again, we've got Dallas Elliott moving a little bit to his right, holding back short side.
And after he scored the goal there, he walked by Cowes and gave him a little pat on the top of the helmet and smiled at him and kept right on walking.
Of the game.
3 minutes and 7 seconds of this third period, and there's Peterson going in. And Moffat is going off to the Burnaby bench, and he's going off in a lot of pain as he was slashed on the ankle area, and he hobbled off the floor with his team trailing 6-5. Now Wilson tries a back pass as he took that one from Cowison. Loose ball picked up by the Salmonbellies. Patterson, he lost it and it goes into the right corner. Wilson after him. Patterson does a good job to get it off for Peterson. Here's Rich Peterson for New West. To Miloski. Kurt Miloski slows things down, looks for the pass for Del Monte. The shot right on Meliak, the save. And then Wilson uncharacteristically gets rid of the ball down to the New West territory.
That was close because when Wilson picked the ball up, he was tap dancing around the edge of the crease, so he wasn't going to be called for going back in.
Yeah, it's exactly what happened. I think rather than be called for going back in the crease, if you're going to give the ball up, better to give it up deep in the other team's end than right in your own end.
A good play by Wilson. Lorenz. Now to Del Monte. As New West gets possession with 17 seconds on that shot clock. 15-20. Goal number 4 possibly. He's got 3 tonight. Jones again, score!
I was just about to say, when a guy gets hot like that, especially with a veteran team like the New Westminster Salmonbellies, they're going to be looking to try and get the ball to Randy Jones, just as they did there. And I wish I'd said this a little bit earlier because it would have made me look like a prophet. Jones just once again tucked it in the short side. That's 4 goals for Jones tonight. It's the third one that Randy Jones has put short side. Maybe he's found a little bit of a chink in the armor of Dallas Elliott.
Nice pass and play all the way up Ogilvie. A nice smart move there to pass it, held onto it, pass it at the right time. Bad possession play by the Burnaby team coming out of their own zone like that.
And Randy Jones comes right back on the floor. I wouldn't be surprised to see also the New Westminster coaches maybe try and give Randy Jones a little extra floor time.
Randy Jones, of course, playing last year with the Brooklyn Redmen along with teammate Peter Park. Making the way back west, where he played a couple of seasons ago with Vancouver.
That's right.
Him and Park. And Randy Jones with 4 goals tonight, now with a 7-5 lead for the New Westminster Salmonbellies with 14:40 to go in this third period. 8 seconds on the shot clock as the Lakers lose control, and back come the Salmonbellies. Game 4 of the Western Lacrosse Association Best of 7 final. In Coquitlam, the shot from McNeil onto the target. Elliott holds on to that one. Oliver Marty with 2 goals. Randy Jones with 4 goals as well. The other goal for New Westminster, McNeil, a shorthanded effort. For Burnaby, it's been Goodwin, Cowison with 2, Ahonen, and Hurd. There's a shot off the target there by Moffat. Now Russ Hurd. Hurd to Stroop, the shot right on. Loose ball picked up by Ahonen with a new shot clock. Now to Russ Hurd. Hurd with Ahonen, Moffat, Stroop, who lost control of it as Helchis comes out. Ben Helchis, he slows down as he waits for his mates. Nice pass over to Cowison. Cowison to Sinclair, right in! Elliott beat on the play, trying to make it a 3-goal game. 7-5 New West as Cowison controls. Has a chance for a shot, does so right on the target. Loose ball, bounces off of Stewart. Now Moffat has a chance for the Lakers, picked up there by Oliver Marty. Shot into the corner. Now Park, nice pass back to Helchis.
You know, fellas, we talked earlier about no team in this series has really taken charge of the game. Well, I think we might be seeing in this last 2 or 3 minutes the New Westminster Salmonbellies for the first time really taking charge of this game.
Marty put that one on the back of the net, and again it fooled the fans on the far side of the arena as Marty that time a little slow in his efforts. Quick, however, but just not quick enough. Keith Cowison to Wilson, quick pass to Juriga. He lost control of it, and Wilson will have to go back to his own territory to get it with 10 seconds on the shot clock when he picks it up. Now 7. Wilson will have to get a shot away. It's right on the target. Mann leaves it there for Eric Cowison, the captain of the Salmonbellies. He supports the C, vacated by the injured Jordy Dean. Dean out for the season with a groin injury. 12 minutes and 5 seconds left in this 3rd period. 7-5 New Westminster. There's a shot by Park, right on. Loose ball. Now picked up by Elliott.
And once again, Peter Park showing a bit of that frustration. Although not bad outside shots that he's been taking, really not his game. He's not getting that ball in close where he really likes to have it.
Taking a shot there is Joel Broughton. Broughton getting loose, tries to get inside, holds onto the ball. Down to 8 seconds on the shot clock. 11:30 to go in this game. Loose ball picked up by Lorenz. Lorenz for the Salmonbellies. Across the far side to Patterson. New Westminster makes changes as they send out Randy Jones looking for goal number 5. He's got 4 tonight. Intercepted pass picked up there by Goodwin. Goodwin for Burnaby all by himself. Ogilvie checks him. The loose ball picked up there by Moffat. The shot as the whistle is gone anyways. And I believe a penalty is coming up to Randy Jones.
He shot though.
West.
I believe Randy Jones is getting a penalty for high sticking called by referee Pat Differ. Now, while we have a little bit of a time rest right now, Dave, talking to Harry before the game, but they're thinking on enlarging the size of the nets for the WLA, big long words, next season. What do you do in your league?
Well, we've used a 4x4.5-foot goal, which is the size that Harry's talking about. I think for fans that aren't familiar with the game, the current goal is 4 feet by 4 feet. In the Major Indoor Lacrosse League, we started out with a 4x4-foot goal, and 2 years ago, because scores were starting to decline, get a little bit lower as the defensive abilities in the league picked up, they went to a bigger goal. And I know the Western Lacrosse Association, as Harry mentioned, has talked about this for a couple of years. For what it's worth, I think it would be a great idea because you know, for fans who have been fans of the game for a number of years, thinking back to the 60s and 70s, really the scores that we've seen, as much as this has been good competitive lacrosse, a 6-5, a 5-4, a 6-4 game was just unheard of 15 years ago. And I think from a fan standpoint, I think most fans would like to see more goals scored. And logically, if you want more goals, the logical thing to do is make the goal bigger.
Well, rumor has it that they're really going to, and there's a real good chance that they could enlarge it for next season. But that's, you know, for the board to discuss, and it'll be up to them. You think if they do it for this, it might go down and carry through in the minor divisions?
I think it may, if for no other reason that, I mean, you think of the logistic things involved here. If you make the goals bigger, of course, the holes that are drilled in the floors are made for 4x4 goals. It means that you have to buy new goals. A lot of these arenas are used by the minor divisions, of course, as well as the senior teams, which might mean that they may be forced to use the bigger goals. I don't think it'll be such a bad thing. The one real negative thing, as Harry Ferguson mentioned, that of course, is that in Mann Cup competition, Minto Cup competition, you play under Canadian Lacrosse Association rules. There we see Steve Manning looking on. Looks like he's cooled down from this little tirade at the end of the game Monday night. Because you play under Canadian Lacrosse Association rules, you would revert back to the 4x4 goal, which would be a little tough on the shooters. The goaltenders would love it, of course.
Here's Helchis. Fakes a shot and holds on to the ball. His team shorthanded. 1:45 left in the penalty to Randy Jones as Ben Helchis controls. 10:35 left in this third period. A 7-5 Salmonbelly lead here in game 4 of the best of 7. 2-1 series lead currently for the Salmonbellies. And now a Burnaby Laker ball.
Nice job by Steve Goodwin to force Ben Helchis to drop that ball back over the line for the back over turnover. And here we see that considerably unpotent Burnaby power play back in action again.
Now Cowison to Hurd, to Stroop, back to Hurd, to Keith Cowison. He takes a slash, hobbles a little bit. There's a chance in front, score!
Well, sooner or later they had to capitalize
I was
on
going to say that the percentages were certainly with him. A real nice shot by Jamie Stewart. And as you mentioned, Keith Cowison took a bit of a chop. It looked like he got it on the knee or on the shin on the power play. But Jamie Stewart puts that relay from Dan Stroop into the net, and a one-goal game again. Lots of time remaining, and that's a key item here. There we see the ball come down, and we'll see Stroop get the ball across to Stewart. As we see Stewart back off. It's coming eventually, I know it. And there it is, the quick stick. Very much, as we think back to Oliver Marty's power play goal in the first period, very much almost a carbon copy of Oliver Marty's first period goal for the Bellies.
All of a sudden now it's a one-goal game.
Burnaby number 7, Jamie Stewart. From 8, Dan Stroop. Number 9, Russ Hurd.
Stroop and Hurd, as mentioned on the PA announcer there, Stewart gets the goal on the power play from Stroop and Hurd at 9 minutes and 53 seconds. A 7-6 lead. And there's a bit of a Academy Award performance by Ben Helchis there as he tries to draw a penalty.
Didn't work.
Didn't work. And now Oliver Marty gets caught as the ball was turned over, but we had yet to hear a whistle. Now Stroop with 9:25 to go in this third period, 7-6 for the Salmonbellies. Hurd trying to get loose. He's tied up there by Marty. The shot goes off of Cowison. That's Eric Cowison. Brother Keith is the captain of the Burnaby Lakers. Of course, Eric, the captain of the Salmonbellies. Sinclair. Long pass is picked off there, but Peterson, and I say picked off because it looked like a sure interception by Ahonen, but Peterson got the pass and got a good shot away. Now Dan Stroop for the Lakers with 8:50 to go in this third period. Time becoming a factor in this one-goal game. The Lakers trail it 7-6. Now Wilson. Johnny Wilson's been silent tonight. Tries the back shot there, behind the back shot, and it's picked up by Mang.
Visions of Jack Bionda shooting like that.
Yeah, I think if Wilson keeps shooting like that, he's going to remain silent for a while. That's not exactly the type of shot you want to be taking in a game like this.
Here's Lorenz. Shot off the target, picked up by Peterson. Rich Peterson being watched as he gets loose for a moment, then hangs onto the ball. Now tries a shot, it goes wide, and off of Eliak, and Eliak will come back to pick it up, and it's Burnaby ball. 8 minutes left in this third period. A 7-6 lead for the Salmonbellies. Lorenz all over Cowison, and now it's white ball as they retain possession with a new shot clock.
Lorenz doing a good job forechecking.
Yeah, this time in the game, said just under 8 minutes remaining. Anytime you can knock 4 or 5 seconds off the clock, you're doing a good job.
7:45 to go. There's a shot by Goodwin on the target as Mang makes that save. 7-6 is the score. 2-1 is the score in favor of the Salmonbellies in the series. Best of 7. And of course, the Salmonbellies lead this game by that 1 goal margin with 7:25 to go in this third period.
Lucky number for 477.
The former junior adnan, Kurt Miloski in the right corner. Being watched by Goodwin. Miloski with 3 seconds on the shot clock, tries to get it out to Jones.
81607.
And the shot clock runs down. Darren London brings the ball out for the Lakers, and he goes off as the Lakers put fresh troops out.
Number once again.
Russ Hurd with 7 minutes to go in this third period.
1.
His team trailing by 1. Hurd. Ooh, a shot there right off the target by Stroop, or off the bar. On the target, a fraction of inches to the left, and this will be a tie game again. Now Hurd. Hurd being bothered by Ogilvie again. Ogilvie a strong checker. Now Hurd tries a pass that's picked up by Stroop. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Stroop to Hurd. The shot, the save by Mang, and a new shot clock if Ahonen can get it. And he can't pick up the loose ball. Now Stroop does. Dan Stroop gets hammered by McNeil. Now Ogilvie comes in to check the ball, and Ahonen does a good job to get that ball away from him, and then the Lakers lose control. Who wants it? Get a new ball, I guess.
I think so. It's about that time, that back and forth 2 or 3 times. Stroop, I think, made a great effort to get out there and get that loose ball, and then ran right into a crowd of 3 guys. Not exactly the smartest tack to take.
Oliver Marty, the former Richmond Outlaw, the rookie. Pass to Park, and Park with the shot going. That's off into the corner now. Peter Park, one hand on his stick, looks for someone to pass to. Has Moffat all over him, doesn't let a pass go to Marty. Marty looking for the trick, tries to pass for Sinclair, and the shot, a weak one, is controlled by the Lakers.
I think maybe if Oliver Marty had that shot, or that chance back, he had 3 choices, either shoot it, pass it off, or just take the ball into the corner. I think he obviously made the wrong choice. I think really in that case, it might have been smarter just to take the ball off into the corner. But a real nice look by Peter Park on that to find Oliver Marty open.
5:10 to go in this third period. 7-6 New Westminster. 4 goals by Randy Jones on his way to a player of the game performance. Cowson having troubles with Ben Hilges as the 30-second clock runs out. And now New Westminster will have possession. And we have a penalty that's going to be against the New Westminster Salmonbellies. I'm not sure for what.
Getting a minor penalty for holding called by referee Ray Durante. And you know, we should say, despite the fact that we've got 2 senior officials here, the backup referee tonight is Ron Casado. And we should also give a lot of credit for the guy that puts these officials out here, Donnie Leach. Donnie Leach is the referee-in-chief, used to referee in the WLA. He does a good job.
And an excellent referee in his own time, and actually had to retire due to a knee injury. And the refereeing, I think, has been excellent this whole series. I think they've done an excellent job, not only the senior officials, but the younger officials did an excellent job in the couple of games that they were given the chance to take part in.
Brent and Todd, they did a tremendous job the games they had.
So the face-off crew comes out and wins the draw for the Lakers as they get the power play going. They're 2 for 5 on the evening. Way back in the first period, they had that 2-man advantage that was squandered. But they just scored on the power play, get the 6th goal tonight, and they'd like to get another power play goal to even its game up at 7. With 4:30 to go in this third period, as the ball bounces out of play, Patterson had a chance for it. And both officials are going to have a chat here because Pat Differ is saying it's New West ball.
I saw it go up white.
It's white ball.
Last touch and it hit his stick. He knocked it.
You sure?
So it will be Burnaby ball.
You can hear Pat ask Ray if he said, "Are you sure?" And Ray said, "Yes, I am."
Yeah, I think Ray Durante was pretty adamant about that call. It looks like it just ticked off of the New Westminster player's stick on the way out of bounds.
Callison, the shot right on. Mang makes a save. The big rebound for Hurd. Hurd gets loose. Score!
Tie game. If ever the Burnaby Lakers needed Russ Hurd to catch fire, this was the time. A great, great goal. A nice effort to pick up the loose ball in front of the net off of Callison's rebound. And a real great display of composure. As we see
Burnaby goal.
We just saw the tail end of it there. We saw the shot once again go in about hip level on Rick Mang. But the key thing there was his composure. About 6 feet off the crease. Really in Neverland. A great position to get knocked right on your keister. But instead, he remained composed, a little fake, and put it short side on Rick Mang. A big goal, obviously a big goal, as we have a 7-all tie with 4 minutes, 19 seconds remaining.
A little bit of concern showing on the Salmonbellies bench right now. They've just called a timeout going down here.
Another look at it here, guys.
There we see the shot by Callison, and we'll see Hurd elude the check. Really nice bit of composure there. He eluded the check from Helges, held his position, just a little bit of a fake, got Mang moving just a little bit to his left, and then buried it on the short side.
Good smart move. You know, I have to say a very special hello to a gentleman now, and we had him show the Lacrosse Hall of Fame, Archie Miller's father. I had the luxury of sitting beside him the other evening in Queen's Park in the press box. Art Miller, tremendous gentleman to sit and talk with. I could not believe the wealth of knowledge that this gentleman has.
Well, I'm sure, and he certainly passed it on to his son, because Archie is a knowledgeable person of just history in general in the Lower Mainland area, in Westminster in particular, and I'm sure a lot of that has been handed down from father to son.
Oh, no doubt. Well, if anybody talks to Art and they want to learn something about lacrosse, boy, he is one good gentleman to talk to.
Well, here we go, guys. We got an exciting 4 minutes and 13 seconds to go in this third period. In a 7-7 tie, game 4 of the best-of-7 WLA final here in Coquitlam. A 2-1 series lead for the Salmonbellies. That last goal, Russ Hurd on the power play from Keith Callison at 15 minutes and 47 seconds. And as I mentioned, if Burnaby ever needed to get a big power play goal, that was the time. Now 3 for 6 on the power play.
And the key thing is 2 for 2 in their last 2 power plays. It's a power play that really hasn't played well all night, but boy, did they put it together when it really counted.
So now Burnaby up floor. With 3:45 to go in this third period, 7-7. Will we have overtime? We've got a long ways to go yet. Callison, the shot right on. Mang makes the save. A new shot clock as Johnny Wilson picks it up. Wilson with 3:30 left on the clock. Into Moffat. Moffat being watched by Rich Peterson. New Westminster not going to let anything go by here. Any Burnaby player go by, that is. And now it'll be New Westminster ball.
Moffat got checked and jumped in towards the front part of the New West bench and had a couple of choice words, no doubt, for a couple of players in front of him.
Yeah, I'm sure they weren't expressing their love and admiration for each other as well near that bench.
Now here's Callison. Eric Callison being bothered. And Burnaby tightens up the defense. Now Colin Sinclair gets open, and a great save there by Dallas Elliott. And Elliott will have to come out of his net as Oliver Marty's after him. And now Helges tries to steal it. Desso takes a shot off the turn.
It's a pretty sloppy play behind the net by both teams, actually. And Dallas Elliott almost got put out of the net there.
Now Scott Patterson. Patterson holds on. To Helges in front of Sinclair. Oh! And Sinclair getting open again, as he does so many times. He hasn't been up there a lot tonight. He must be hurt. He's getting lots of chances on this shift. Oliver Marty goes into the crease there as Burnaby has possession.
Going this way. Come on. White ball, let's go.
You want to kiss me?
Going this way. White ball.
I like that one. Someone, I think that was Keith Callison asking Oliver Marty if he wants to kiss him. But
They'll assume that the answer was in the negative. I think Elliott was complaining there, thinking there should have been a 2-minute minor on that for the crease infraction, and I think he had a little bit of a legitimate beef there.
Well, Marty challenged him and didn't back off.
Yeah, and I think realistically, a good official, like we have out here tonight in Different, Randy, they're not going to make that kind of a call in a 7-all game with just over 2 minutes remaining. They want the players to decide this game, and I think that's what we're going to see happen. There wasn't too much of an argument once Elliott got his frustration out.
No, Different went in, he explained it to him what was going on, and again, I've got to agree with you that if something takes place, you're going to see the players determine the outcome of the game. You're not going to see a real cheap call, especially of these caliber officials that we've got tonight. You know, either these two or the rest of the gentlemen that work in the WLA, they do a tremendous job for the league.
2:13 to go now in this third period as Burnaby, I believe, has taken their last time out. 7-7's the score. And the Lakers press the Salmonbellies territory. Stewart. Off to Hurd. Hurd tried to break into the open area, and Andy Ogilvy comes up with a loose ball.
And this is the time in the game that you're going to see lots and lots of Andy Ogilvy in the defensive end. I think one of the best two-way players in the game today. Great defensive player, underrated offensively, but you're going to see both teams probably making some special substitutions. Players like Ogilvy out on the floor on defense. Similarly, players like Goodwin for Burnaby playing the defensive side of the floor.
1:30 to go in this third period. 7-7. Johnny Wilson now. Wilson hangs onto the ball. Now for Keith Callison. Callison, the shot, the rebound is gobbled up by Rick Mann. 1:15 now to go as New Westminster takes to the attack. Here's Oliver Marty. He's got 2 goals tonight. Out there with Randy Jones with 4 goals tonight, and Colin Sinclair. If anyone's going to get a goal now, it could be Sinclair. That last shift, he had 3 great chances. Here's Marty getting loose. The shot right on. Elliott holds on to that ball. And he's lost it in his equipment somewhere.
There's a really good sign, Terry, of excellent coaching. You mentioned Randy Jones with 4 goals, Oliver Marty with 2 goals, and Colin Sinclair, who got 2 or 3 great opportunities in his last shift, all on the floor at the same time. This is when the line combinations go out the window, you go with your hot hand.
30 seconds left now. 10 on the shot clock for Burnaby as they control. 7-7's the score. Johnny Wilson gets worked over. 4 seconds on the shot clock. That one goes towards the net. And now it'll be New West last chance with 19 seconds on the clock in a 7-7 tie. Last chance. Oh, and a giveaway in front. But Rick Mann does a great job in getting ahead to Dixon. 10 seconds on the clock now. And behind the play, Dixon was hacked down. Now Jones in front of the net for Lorenz. The rebound for Marty, and he tries a shot there for Elliott. Now we're going to overtime.
Yep, for the first time in the series, we go into extra time, and I think well-deserved extra time. Both teams played very well. Westminster started to take charge, and finally, Burnaby's power play started to click, got him back in the game and got him the tie game and really put the game into overtime.
Well, it's well-deserved. Both teams, the way they're playing, it's only understandable that they do go into overtime playing this caliber of lacrosse. I told you that last week.
Seven, the score as we're about to enter overtime here at the Coquitlam Sports Center, the Western Lacrosse Association final. The Salmonbellies lead the series by a score of 2-1. They don't lead this game as we're heading into overtime. They'll play a 10-minute complete overtime. No matter how many goals are scored, the winner at the end of that overtime will be declared the winner. If we're still tied, we'll take a 2-minute break, and then we'll go to a 20-minute sudden victory overtime period.
Yeah, and you know, Terry, the people that I really worry about and I sympathize with in this are the goaltenders. This is when goaltenders have nightmares. They play so well all game long, and it gets down to the crunch in a situation like this.
And there's one of the goaltenders, Dallas Elliott, who has faced thus far in the game 59 berated shots.
He's been a busy young man, and you know, you're talking about the goaltenders in the overtime. The other side of that coin, having done it for so many years myself, is that you really look forward to a situation like this because every save you make is the one that could decide the game. And quite frankly, it becomes a kind of an ego sort of a thing. But I know when I played, I used to love overtime. I think with a passion. I used to love overtime more than any part of the game, I think.
So that's what happened to you, Dave. You were a goaltender. That explains the red mark on the back of your neck.
That's right.
Here we are, overtime. Danny Stroop wins the face-off for the Lakers, so the Lakers control the ball as we are all set to go. Again, 10 minutes, a complete 10 minutes. The winner at the end of that one will be declared the winner. Here's Jamie Stewart, who has a goal tonight. Checked off the ball by Helches. Helches long pass for Park, a bit too far. And now the Lakers again. Moffat. Inside Salmonbelly territory. Being checked by Lorenz. Moffat back to the point here for Goodwin. Goodwin the shot. Hits his own man in front of the net. That might have stung as it hit Stroop. Stroop gets up limping. He'll be all right in a moment. Now Goodwin checked off the ball. They're down to 5 seconds on the shot clock. The shot there by Moffat, and a good one. Mann didn't give him much to shoot at. And I believe there's not a penalty. I thought I'd seen Ray Durante heading over the boxes in this direction. It's still Laker ball. John Wilson. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Tries a low one-handed backhand. It goes all the way down for Colin Sinclair to pick up. And if we're going to pick players to do some damage here in overtime, I'm going to pick Colin Sinclair to do it.
I'm going to agree with you. I think Sinclair is due. He's had some great chances in that third period. Didn't see much of him in the first and second period. Had 2 or 3 great opportunities, robbed by Elliott a couple of times. I think if it comes down to somebody kind of pulling this game out in the overtime, my vote for New Westminster at least is for Sinclair.
Or we can also go with 2 other guys that are out on the floor, and that's Randy Jones and also Oliver Marty. Jones with 4 goals today, and Marty with a pair.
I think I'd have a tendency to pick Ogilvy for New West.
And there he steals it right there, and I think you must have known that, Steve. But you should have put your bet in on that one. Ogilvy, nice pass in front for Jones, and he gets hammered. The Lakers, Elliott comes out to fish a loose ball, but Ogilvy comes up with it. Andy Ogilvy with 13 or 15 seconds on the shot clock. Now McNeil. 7:43 to go in overtime. 7-7 tie. Now Randy Jones, a shot wide of the target. And now a turnover as the Lakers will have possession.
Now, Steve, you mentioned Andy Ogilvy. I think if I had to pick a favorite player that I have in this league, I really got to lean towards Andy. He does so many things so well. He's composed. He's got that little bit of a mean streak, which you've got to have in this game. He's very good defensively, and as I mentioned earlier, much underrated offensively.
There's a shot by Stroop, a good one as Mann just got his leg on it, and Stroop had some room in there, and again, Dan Stroop is looking good in the Laker uniform. 7:10 to go in overtime, a 7-7 tie. If you just joined us, you're watching Rogers Cable 4. I'm Terry Murray with Dave Evans and Steve Erickson in the broadcast booth and the rest of the Rogers Cable sports crew, bringing you this Game 4, and here's a breakaway chance for Goodwin. Game 4 of the Western Lacrosse Association final. New West leads it 2-1. 6:45 to go in overtime. Peter Park tries to work himself into the open as he steps on the crease. And a good job by Dan Stroop to stay with Park and push him into the crease.
Well, Stroop's my favorite. I'd have to pick a Stroop for Burnaby.
Here's Keith Callison as he awaits the return of his offensive line mates. Out there with Malcolm, as well Johnny Wilson and Jariga and Graham. Doesn't matter who he's with now because New Westminster has possession. Burnaby has to backtrack. Lorenz, nice bounce pass, picked up by Randy Jones. That one hits a Burnaby stick, and Kurt Malosky has to go back for it. He picks it up with 15 seconds on the shot clock, 6 minutes to go in this overtime. Hilchey's a shot right on, and Elliott holds on to that one. And this 10-minute overtime period is dwindling away fast. And there, Johnny Wilson is just hammered in front of the penalty box. There's a 3-on-2 for New West. And Jones couldn't see that pass coming to him from Ogilvy. Hilchey's to Ogilvy, the shot. And that was blocked in front. 15 on the shot clock. Back pass picked up by Russ Hurt. Hurt fakes a pass and goes 2-on-1. Desat who dumps off. Desat's replaced by Stroop. Stroop to Moffat. Moffat looks out for Patterson, and now a loose ball goes all the way back to the New West bench area. With 5 minutes and 5 seconds left in overtime, a 7-7 tie here in Coquitlam. Moffat's shot almost picked off there by Malcolm as he was coming off the bench.
And we saw Wilson of Burnaby and Oliver Marty having words. Marty caught Wilson with a bit of an elbow down here and really leveled him, and Wilson gave him a little chop later on down the floor. So just to see if they have any words or anything beyond words later in the contest.
There he is. Sinclair is out there now. I'm going to call him the damage man because he's out there to do damage, and he gets great chances every time he's on the floor. I've got to think Colin Sinclair is hurt. We've said that all game. He hasn't seen a lot of floor time tonight, but he has when the going has got tough. And it's crunch time. And we're in crunch time right now. 4:20 to go in overtime. 7-7 tie. Wilson being bothered by Patterson. Nice pass for Callison, and that shot, a one-timer, right on as Mann puts that one away. Here's Del Monte. Dumps it off for Oliver Marty and goes for a change. 3:55 to go now in overtime. 15 on the shot clock. Marty works out to the right. Checked by Johnny Wilson. Wilson gets the ball loose. There's a shot off the target. The rebound. Ogilvie had a great chance there, and that was saved by Dallas Elliott. And now a turnover. It's Burnaby ball, and Jackie Fulton's not too happy at the New West bench.
Well, Jack's not too happy about that call, but I think it was a good call by Durante. Definitely some interference. Andy Ogilvie, I don't think, saw the interference happen behind him. But Steve, he almost made a profit of you and buried that rebound to score what, at this stage of the game, could prove to be the winner.
I spoke to him before the game, so we're going to see what takes place.
Here's Russ Hurd right in on goal. A crease violation there, so it's New Westminster ball with 3:23 to go now in overtime. 7-7 tie. This is not sudden death. They'll play the duration. And if it's still tied, we'll have a 2-minute break, and then we'll go to a 20-minute sudden death victory overtime period. And we're into a 2-hour and 34-minute game right now. I have a feeling this could go on a little bit longer.
I was just double checking with referee in chief here, Don Leach, behind us to make sure that we said it right. And he's nodding yes.
Now Don McNeil. McNeil, who has a short-handed goal out there tonight, puts a pass over for Marty, or Sinclair, and Sinclair fans on that shot, and he had some room to shoot. Now Graham, being chased by Kurt Malosky. Graham gets away from Malosky as he's replaced by Patterson. Andy Graham. Now Russ Hurd. 2:15 on the clock. A 7-7 tie here in Coquitlam. Burnaby's home game. They're not allowed to play any games at their regular home game at Burnaby Lake. There's a chance for Hurd due to a league ruling on the playoff format. 2 minutes now left in overtime. 7-7. Ben Helches will lead the attack now for New West. Now Lorenz. Lorenz tries a quick shot that might have went off the goalpost. Now Randy Jones with 4 tonight. Looks for number 5. Score!
You got it. Randy Jones, is he having a career night or what? A great shot by Jones, and really not much Elliott or anybody on Burnaby could do about that one. Just a terrific, terrific shot. This time putting it on the far side as we'll see Jones comes around the pick, shoots over top of the screen and buries it right in the top corner over Dallas Elliott's right arm. And with 1:44 remaining, that could be the biggest goal of Randy Jones' career.
Almost looked like Elliott was partially screened on that.
I think he was, because Jones came around the pick, shot over top of both the man setting the pick and the defensive player. I really don't think Dallas had a good look at that at all.
And New West gets possession off the face-off. .125 to go in this overtime period. 8-7 New West. Hilches a shot off the target. Randy Jones, the leading goal so far, his 5th on the night. And we were talking, it had Burnaby gone on to score a goal, and they still have 105 to do it. And if Russ Hurd had done it, that would be 3 for him. He might have been the player of the game, but I think Randy Jones just sewed it up. Here's Cowison for Johnny Wilson. 10 seconds on the shot clock. The net is empty. Score!
And Russ Hurd with Dallas Elliott on the bench for an extra attacker. 46 seconds left in the first overtime period, and we may just be on our way to sudden death if we have an 8-all tie. And Rick Mann got caught way out high in the crease there. I'm not sure exactly what happened to Mann, but we'll see the ball come across to Hurd. And there's Mann way at the top of the crease. And that's one of the difficulties when a goaltender wants to play high in the crease. If the ball is moved laterally fairly quickly, you can get caught out kind of in Never Neverland. And that's exactly what happened to Rick Mann there. And Russ Hurd buried it for his hat trick for the night. And maybe the biggest goal he scored this year, even though he did lead the league in scoring.
And Russ Hurd must have heard me up in the booth here, because I just mentioned if he wanted to be the game star, he'd have to get going. And now he's got a hat trick tonight and has tied this game up at 8 with 45 seconds to go. So Hurd at 9:14. Now Lorenz, Ogilvy in front. Great save, Eliak. Back come the Lakers. Here's Moffitt with 30 seconds to go in the game, or the overtime period. Now Hurd. Burnaby successful at pulling the goalie to tie this game up after Randy Jones had put New Westminster ahead by 8-7. Now Lorenz with 13 seconds left in the period. 8-8 to score. Lorenz could go coast to coast. Oh, and he fanned on it as he was shooting. As Todd Lorenz could have been the hero. Here's Stroop. No time on the clock as Stroop has a good run, and we are going to sudden death with a 2-minute break here in Coquitlam.
You couldn't ask for any more entertaining lacrosse than this. I tell you, this is exciting.
Great overtime period. Some great goaltending at both ends. Good goals scored. Both the go-ahead goal by Jones and the tying goal by Russ Hurd. You know, something you dread in overtime, I think, whether it be in hockey, soccer, lacrosse, whatever, you don't want to see a game decided on a fluky goal. So you have a look at Dallas Elliott getting some much-needed refreshments at the bench. And so far in overtime, we haven't seen those type of goals. Both good goals scored.
Put you on the spot now, Dave. If you were coaching either team, we'll go with New West first. What would you possibly go with and say the players?
Well, I think right now, the key item right now is getting that first face-off. So we would certainly have our best face-off people on the line. Same thing for Burnaby. I think as soon as we got possession, we'd go with the guys that are hot. I'd have Randy Jones on the floor. I would have Oliver Motti on the floor. And I would definitely have Colin Sinter on the floor, because I think he's due.
And how did this game get tied? We're going to have a look at that last goal as we're all set to go into overtime. This goal by Hurd.
And there is Burnaby on the power play with the 6-on-5 power play, and we'll see the ball come from Wilson. And at this point in time, Mann is way out at the top of the crease. You see him actually outside the crease, anticipating the shot from Wilson. And this time, Johnny Wilson, a real smart play on his part, dished it off to Russ Hurd, and Russ put it in the back of the net.
Well, you can see a dejected-looking Mann there after the goal was scored. He knew that he was in the wrong possibly on that one, and a little bit of frustration.
He was, in Rick's defense, he was playing the percentages. Generally, Johnny Wilson likes to shoot the ball. He was in a good position to shoot the ball. Mann came out, played the angle on him. Just a real nice play. A pretty good display of anticipation, I guess, on Rick Mann's part. But this time, Johnny Wilson caught up at the top of the crease, saw Hurd open. So a nice all-around play by Wilson. I think this is where something we hadn't had a chance to mention, that Mike Kettles out with an injury. And Mike Kettles, of course, is New Westminster's and one of the league's top face-off men. So this could be a real key injury in this situation, especially in sudden death overtime, as we see Todd Lorenz out to take the face-off for New West.
McNeil and Lorenz have been sharing the face-off duty since Kettle's injury. And we're all set to go. A 20-minute sudden death victory overtime period now. 8-8 to score. We've already played 10 minutes of running overtime. And now who's going to win it? Perhaps New Westminster would like to, and perhaps Burnaby would like to. We'll have to wait and see. I can't figure this game out. It's been so up and down. There's a good shot there by Helches, and don't let Ben Helches have much time to shoot. Burnaby's got to know that lesson.
No, Helges has been pretty dormant offensively so far tonight, but boy, he's not a guy that you can give that easy outside shot to.
Lots of shots in this game, 59-46 after 3 periods for New West. And we've already added another overtime period to that. Here's John Wilson in sudden death overtime. In front. Ball goes straight all the way back for Dallas Elliott. He'll hang on to the ball. Stroop. as the shot clock runs out, so it'll be New West ball.
I'm sure we'll see Randy Jones on the floor. Yeah, there he is now. Randy Jones stepping on the floor. Andy Ogilvy's had a great game for the Bellies, controlling the ball. And maybe Peter Parks too.
Ogilvy making moves. Being checked by Davidson. The shot goes off the target, goes in behind, now picked up at the blue line. The ice hockey blue line. The shot taken again. Brad Dixon down to 2 seconds on the shot clock. A long shot, and Elliott had trouble with it, as he couldn't see that long one by Randy Jones.
And sometimes those long shots like that do give you trouble because you take them a little bit too casually. That one, Dallas did exactly that. It bounced off his belly pad, and fortunately time ran out as big Peter Park was lurking around that crease.
We've played a minute and 25 seconds into sudden death overtime. 8-8's the score. Johnny Wilson. He's got Patterson on him. Wilson into the corner, down to 7 seconds on the shot clock. Now Keith Cowson then lets the shot go. Back comes Andy Ogilvy to Paul Del Monte. He's at the right face-off circle. Tries to get loose and tried to sneak one past the goaltender Elliott. And there was room there. Now Juriga. He gets loose. And it's checked off the ball. Oliver Marty now. And McNeil puts the ball up for Sinclair. Back inside Laker territory. Sinclair lets his shot go. It goes wide. And the shot clock runs out, so it's Burnaby ball. 17 minutes and 44 seconds to go in sudden death overtime.
I was just going to mention, Terry, that Johnny Wilson has got to be tired. He's been on the floor almost every shift. This time, Coach Bob Salt's giving him a rest. And he's got to be one tired guy right now. He's been playing on the floor almost all the time. The Burnaby has had possession.
Now Moffat to Hurd with 4 seconds on the shot clock. And that shot goes off the target, and New West will move up for now. Lorenz, Park, Oliver Marty, Colin Sinclair, and now Randy Jones out there for the Salmonbellies. Here's Lorenz. Shot, Elliott the save, and there was room there. And Elliott is outstanding in the net tonight, as well as Rick Mang at the other end for New West.
Nothing!
Now Lorenz, Sinclair, as the shot clock runs down one more time. And that'll be Burnaby's chance to go up 4 with 16:48 to go in overtime.
That's about the 4th shot clock violation we've seen in this first 3.5 minutes of sudden death overtime. So defense has really been solid.
Keith Cowson to Dan Stroop. They're joined by Hurd, Juriga, and Wilson. Johnny Wilson. Now a ball lost. Here's Del Monte in a foot with Keith Cowson. Del Monte. Ooh, and that one just shot wide as Elliott left the 5-hole open, but the shot went to the right.
And Keith Cowson would have been feeling about 2 inches tall if that ball got in, as the ball just popped out of his stick at the top, and Del Monte took off on that kind of a partial breakaway.
We've played 4 minutes of overtime. New West. Now here's Brad Dixon. Dixon away. Coming off the bench is Juriga or Davidson, and Davidson might have distracted Brad Dixon. Dixon might have got a better shot away. Now Mlosky to Ogilvy. Shot off the target, and New West is taking a ton of shots out there.
They're taking a lot of shots, perhaps thinking with the number of shots we've had, and actually a pretty good logic when you think about it, that just Dallas may just simply be fatigued and may be handcuffed by one of these outside shots.
13 seconds on the shot clock for the Lakers. Andy Ogilvy is working over Johnny Wilson on the far side as the New West Salmonbellies try to distract the offensive threat for the Lakers. There's a shot and a rebound picked up by Patterson. Back comes in a chance here for Peterson, and Peterson trips and falls, and Elliott gets the ball. Here come the Lakers. 15:05 left in sudden death overtime, an 8-8 tie here in Coquitlam. Moffat now for the Lakers. Cowson at the left face-off circle. He has Stroop and Malcolm out there. As well, Davidson. Stroop tries a shot, picked up by Rich Peterson. Peterson is nailed at center. And nailed again by Goodwin. Oh, Hilges picks up the ball! And a great chance there for Hilges to end this game. And Elliott stands up tall again.
And two great defensive plays by Steve Goodwin to knock the ball away from Rich Peterson. And then once again, we've said it so many times in the games we broadcast, a great save again by Dallas Elliott, keeping his team really in the series, never mind in the game.
John Wilson, he'd love to score a goal and end this right now. 14-14 to go in sudden death overtime. We're in the 5th period. And now a turnover as Steve Manning and Jackie Fulton are obsessed on the New West bench.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of an Oscar performance by Keith Cowson there as he was bumped into the boards and got the call from referee Pat Difford.
Now Hurd. Russ Hurd with a new shot clock and 14 minutes to go in overtime. Sudden death overtime at the Coquitlam Sports Center. Western Lacrosse Association Game 4. It's been an awesome series, if we can say that word.
It has been. It's been close all the way. And this game has really picked up in intensity from about the middle of the 2nd period on. It's got better and better, and it's just been a great finish.
Here's Randy Jones having trouble with the ball. Davidson trying to pick up the loose ball, and he has it. Inside Salmonbelly territory, and it'll be Laker ball as they make a full line change.
But Bobby Salt's done a real good job with his lines. He knows he's got limited offensive resources, certainly compared to New Westminster. He's done a great job of double shifting both Wilson, Cowson, and Hurd, and yet still giving them that little bit of breather time they need.
10 seconds on the shot clock as Burnaby tries to penetrate. And a pass for Hurd eludes him and goes all the way back for Elliott. He'll just have time to give it off back to Rick Mang as goaltending opposition at the other end. Now come the Salmonbellies, Randy Jones with 5 goals tonight.
If anybody has lost a wallet at the permanent concession stand, or anybody who has lost or misplaced your wallet, it's the permanent concession stand.
Jones is hammered in, or Ogilvy is hammered into the board. So is Jones. It'll be New Westminster ball.
And Randy Jones is playing like a man possessed. I really don't think I've seen Randy play this well in the years that I've been watching Randy Jones play.
There it is, all over, Jake.
And we talked about Ben Hilges. He's been pretty much dormant this game offensively, had a great game defensively, and bang, gets the shot. And we talked about it only 4 or 5 minutes ago. You cannot give Ben Hilges an opportunity to shoot from that position on the floor. A great shot right in the top corner to Dallas Elliott's right. And we mentioned earlier how you hate to see an overtime game lost on a questionable goal, but we're going to see on the replay coming up here anything but a questionable goal. Hilges comes around the screen and a beautiful shot once again off of Elliott's right elbow, right into that top right-hand corner. Great goal by Ben Hilges to give his Bellies a 3-1 lead in the series.
Number 35, Dallas Elliott. Second star, New Westminster, number 16, Randy Jones.
Dallas Elliott has been named the first star in this game, but we're going to go with our game star, Randy Jones. From the New Westminster Salmonbellies, not to take anything away from goaltender Dallas Elliott, because he was outstanding in facing, by the end of this game's totals, probably close to 70 shots in an 8-7 or a 9-8 victory in favor of the New Westminster Salmonbellies. And can now the Burnaby Lakers come back from the 3-1 deficit in consecutive series? They were down 3-1 to the Victoria. And now they were down 3-1 to the New Westminster Salmonbellies.